Yes, we are live. We are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday service. Thank you so much, everyone, for getting in here on time, on time, on time, on time. I love it when people come to the Sunday service on time because that means we'll start early, we'll finish early, then we can go and enjoy the rest of the weekend for sure. So, thank you, everyone, for joining the Sunday service. My name is Goga. I'm the host of the Sunday service show. I'm joined by Jen. So we're going to talk to Jen today, and I know some of you are wondering what is going on. Yes, so we're multi-streaming. Multi-streaming works this way. So what happens that yes, I'm hosting Jen, but she's also able to stream on her channel, and that's why most of you are able to watch the live stream on her channel. And in case you're in my community, there's a link I've pinned on top of my chat. It will take you over to Jen's live stream. Please click on it so that you jump over there so that you can support her from the other side and you can get to connect to her. That is how we grow intentionally as content creators, and you get to know somebody from a different, side of the world, and also a different creator on YouTube streets. I see NF. I see NF. Welcome, welcome, NF. I see Hajarine is in the house.
Yes.
Hajarine says, "Hey, hey, 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 hey." Yeah, I see Daho. Daho says that I am here, but I'm lacking, but I'm following. I'm following the conversation. Thank you so much, Daho, for that. I see Joe. I see Joss. Welcome, welcome, Joss. Thank you so much for the hugs and kisses. Mwah! Yeah, and then I see, of course, I see JC on the chat, also very busy. She's busy multitasking. Thanks so much for that, JC. I see the Hakika family in the house. Welcome, welcome, Eva Kika. Nice to see you. I hope your husband and your kids are doing well. Thank you, everyone, for making it on time to the Sunday service. Whatever you are seeing on the screen, that is Jen's channel. We are going to talk a lot about this channel. Jen joined YouTube in. Why am I giving you the receipts even before we start? Let me hold. You guys, you know what? Hold on to the receipts. It's too early to start.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Wamuyu is in the building. Welcome, welcome, Wamuyu. Nice to see you. How is Sweden this Sunday? Thanks so much for popping in. Traveling is in the house.
Yes.
Thanks so much, guys. Yeah. Jen, let me allow you to say hi to the people as well. Your people are on time. I'm impressed.
Oh, my people. I love my people. I love them. So we have Stealth Health India, Himani, she from India. And then we have Creativity Guides Me, beautiful supporter and creator herself. And then Ice Queen. Again, I could say beautiful things about everyone, right? And so Superior Warrior, I love Town, just awesome supporters. And then the like you said, the Hakia family. Sorry, if I'm saying that wrong. And then Shatika. And then Joe, and then we have Liliana, as you stated, and then we have I saw DeBossway, of course, Harjarine, who you had a few weeks ago. The homie, is in the house, and then Anita is in the house, and then Traveling T, just all, and then Waymo. Oh my goodness, Waymo is here. So I'm really y'all are showing up. Y'all are showing up. I love this community. I love your community. I love my community. I love all the things, right? So
I love that too, and I love your community as well. I like how your community. I mean, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that later on in the stream.
Yes.
I love how and this I think one thing I like about YouTube. Just the power of community showing up and just supporting you and cheering you on in whatever journey it is that you're on. I think that's one of the reasons I really love YouTube. I don't know what your experience, having been on YouTube for, is it 9 months now?
You'd have to do that. It's September 13th is my YouTube birthday. So whatever the math is on that.
So you've been on YouTube for less than a year. Can you imagine? And look at all the amazing things you're doing over at Calamity Jane.
I love it. Well, it's my everyday life. So I was doing it, just not publicly. So it's that's the beauty of my channel. It's stuff that I would be doing without, with maybe one exception. It's the stuff it's my everyday life, right? It's my everyday life. And I'm giving y'all a taste of what that looks like, just in case you're thinking about it and you're like, now let her do it.
All right. NF says, we love you, JC. We love you too, NF. Thank you so much for that beautiful compliment. And then Tiffany says, hello. Sorry, I was dishing out breakfast. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Don't worry. Don't be sorry. We're just starting. We're just like getting warm. And, Anita is in the building. Sorry, I think I've not said hi to Anita Blackmore. Welcome, Anita. Let me see. You guys are on time. I'm so impressed. We're already getting the questions even before we start the class. Hakika is like, what inspired the channel name Calamity Jane? Hakika, why are you giving like my receipts? That's of course the first question I was going to ask CJ. But
did you hand out your questions, Goga? Did you share your questions out?
No, like I like how she's already started asking questions. I'm like, why is she like already giving you my scheme of questions? But I've put a star on it because definitely we are going to get that answer. Hakika, just stay here. You're going to get that answer. I know. That was my first question. I think the first time I ever connected to Calamity Jane. That was the first thing that I went and found out. And yes, I did. She's talked about it on her channel on one of the live streams.
Yes.
But yeah, she's going to definitely, of course, answer you directly. I know everybody was just wondering out aloud and everything. Yeah, she's going to answer it. Really, don't worry. We got you. So guys, in about 3 minutes or so, I'm just going to read a quick biography to introduce our guest, and then we can start the show. So in case you're watching from my live stream at Yoga with Goga, to those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I'm the host of the Sunday service. The Sunday service is usually. Oh, let me stop sharing the screen so that you guys. I was told that I need to be speaking to people directly. So to those of you who are joining the Sunday service, my name is Goga, so I'm the host of the Sunday service show. The Sunday service is usually like a hangout spot every Sunday where we speak to content creators from different parts of the world. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to be like famous or anything, because I always get a lot of questions like, do I need to be famous to be at the Sunday service? And I'm like, no, you just need to be you, because one of the reasons and the inspiration behind the Sunday service is that YouTube is already hard enough. But when you hear from the perspective of another creator and what they are doing, and we are all doing different things. I'm practicing yoga. CJ is like busy with her chickens and her homesteading. But there is a way she approaches content creation that she may say something that may trigger you in case you are beating yourself too hard on these YouTube streets. Make sure that you're showing up better and you don't give up on yourself as a content creator. So that was really the inspiration behind the Sunday service. And you're most welcome. We do this every Sunday at 12:30 Eastern. We always do this every Sunday. Different creator anywhere around the world, they come and give us some insights about their channel and also life and their niche and everything else that they do that is going to motivate and inspire people. The Sunday services, I think we are currently on our, let me see. So Calamity Jane is our 155th
I think
guest.
Yep.
Yeah, 156 guests. So you can imagine we've had over 156 content creators sitting at the Sunday service. It's not easy, but it shows you how it's a great platform to bring everybody together. And a number of you have been here. Those of you, I think we've hosted at the Sunday service before. Thank you so much for always been the support system that has actually kept this show going for the last nearly 4 years now. We got a raid.
I know, I love it.
I've raided you once before, Jen, right?
You have. I think, yeah, you and Trini raided me once before, and now it looks like it's Miss TT's raid. I love it.
Let me allow you to acknowledge, because Titi is going to start harassing me here. So let me allow you to acknowledge, because when you acknowledge the raid, I think because you're a guest, she will be a bit respectful, because she knows me. I'm too familiar. So let me allow you to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So just again, welcome. Well, first of all, thank you, Ms. TT. And we have, so I think X Red M was the first one in the house, and then Blue Helix came in too. Good to see you, Blue Helix. And then we have, of course, Winstone's Chronicle, who please connect with everyone that you're seeing on here. It's vertical, so you can connect with people. And so, Work, Play, Live, all great channels. And then let me see. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. So those, and then of course Miss TT, yes, Miss TT. So thank you. Yes. We are not. What is it? We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
But she had a lot of options, but she selected us. She chose us.
I know.
She chose us. I always appreciate Raid, because you feel chosen. You feel chosen,
right?
I'm being dramatic, guys, but it's TT. Thank you so much for the music.
Yeah.
Really, thank you so much.
Natural vibes with TK. Oh, I love it.
I love that. I love that. And then Akika says, Goga, TJ is quite has understood her assignment. She's such a natural. Yeah, that's why I'm like so relaxed on this live stream. She can easily, she's the co-host and she's doing an amazing job. So
coming for you, Goga.
And thank you everyone I saw Rebecca, I think I saw Cheryl in there on the chat there. So in case
you missed sharing, I see seasons 24/7. Let's see.
Yes, season is there.
Fluffy. But Fluffy's been up for a long while. I think Fluffy's been up for a while.
I love that.
Let's see.
Yeah. I love this co-host. Look at her. She's very quick on the chats and everything. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I saw Blue. Was it Blue? Let me just say that I got the name correctly so that we don't. Guys, we want to make sure that you guys feel very welcome so that you don't in any way see that we did not see you. We are very sorry. Yeah. We can't see everyone.
It's all Blue Helix. We're a new connection. And so I'm, especially for people who I've met just kind of recently, for them to show up to this, they get to meet you and your community, and then they'll get to know a little bit more about me. I think that's just really awesome.
I love that too. And guys, once again, we are multi-streaming. So I am hosting Jen, but Jen is also able to stream on her channel. So those of you who have come in through the raid, Winston, TT, Reds, and the rest, work, play, live. I see there are a lot of people. Season, I know there are a lot because I was there. I know there were some receipts there, but today I'm going to be disciplined because we have a guest. But I will discuss the receipt on a later date. Those of you came in through the raid, there's a link I've pinned on top of my chat. Please jump over there at Jen and just go and give her a thumbs up and connect to her and watch the rest of the show right there because we are going to be here for a minute. So be part of that beautiful house. All right, and you can see it there, Calamity Jen. It's the picture for me, guys. It's the picture. It's the picture. It's the picture for me. It's a picture. And then look at, branding is very important. I always tell you guys it is important to go and collect receipts on people's channels. Are you seeing the banner on that channel? Are you seeing the banner of that channel? It has 3 G's. That tells you a lot about somebody. Grit, which I think one of my mentors says, greatness requires internal toughness. That's the acronym behind grit. Grace. I love the word grace. And of course, growth.
Yes.
That speaks volumes. So make sure you're part of that beautiful community. The link is on top of the chat. For those of you who are wondering, Goga, how do I get there? The link is there. Oh, and you have been given compliments by Hajarin. Hajarin, how did you even see Jen's earrings?
Oh, she knows to look. These are the earrings that I made.
The ladies will not forgive me for this. We have to put you on solo layout so that they can see what you're showing them.
Okay.
There we go.
So these are the polymer clay earrings. This is the most recent set of polymer clay earrings that I made. So.
Oh, wow.
I have a bowl of them just in case. I came prepared, Goga. I came prepared for you. So
wait, so you mean you'll be changing outfits and earrings?
I'm not gonna change outfits, but if people want to see, I make all these earrings. And then
nice.
And I did this for my. I know this is a commercial. This is like a commercial break. I don't want to take away from the show, but I'll show these. So I was really inspired by our friends in Jamaica, so I made
Jamaica. These. Oh my! Wait! Hold on. There are a lot of Jamaicans on this stream.
I know. I made these. Y'all have inspired me. Y'all have been such great supporters, and I love the content that y'all create. So, I was inspired one day to just make some. And then I have some with the, oh my goodness, I have some with the red in it too. And so, yeah.
I love it.
How do we order them? Just connect with me on, I'll put my, my email is in my description. And so I'll just via email or just drop a comment on this chat and you can, I love making them. I will send them around the world as long as there's a carrier to get them there.
I love that. And we just got our first super chat. Thanks so much, the World of Ruggers. Good evening and happy Sunday, disciples. Thank you so much for that beautiful blessing, the World of Ruggers. May your pot bring in abundance. And congratulations on such an amazing show on Friday. We were in Germany and we were sent to Brazil. Can you imagine the DJs from different continents? We were just partying after party. It was party after parties on Friday. Well done, the World of Ruggers, for such an amazing show. And thank you so much for the blessing. Liz, welcome, Liz. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for coming in. My brother TK, thank you so much for coming in. Vico is saying thank you for your support. Thanks so much, Vico. Real space, appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much for that. NF is like saying, oh my god, those things are so beautiful. Don't worry, guys, she's going to show you these things. She's going to show you a creativity. We may not be able to like walk around the homestead, but you'll get to see certain things. That's why she has the videos.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, I could like talk and answer questions and change them out, but then I'm not going to do that though. So.
No worries, no. Don't worry. That's why there are videos to watch to see the chickens.
Correct. You can watch. You can watch.
And then Cheryl says, I absolutely love those earrings. Thank you so much for that, Cheryl. Yes, guys. You want some earrings? Have you left a comment on the chat over at Jen's? Yeah, click on the pinned link on top of my chat. It will take you right there and make sure. Yeah, go and register your interest because they look beautiful. I know the Jamaicans are like, as the kids will say, I know the Jamaicans are eating it up.
Yes. So I get inspired. Like even today, so I'm sure sometime today I will be inspired, and then I will head to my little. It's technically my mother's craft room, but I've taken it over, and so and I will more than likely make some more.
Love that. Enchanted Gamer says, hey Queen JC, I love it. You've been called Queen. Oh, I love that courtesy and everything. And then Hajarine says, JC earrings are traveling earrings. Mm-hmm. Winston, thanks so much for that support. Blessings family. Winston Chronicles saying hi to you guys on the chat. Anita says, it is great watching you make those earrings too, Jen. So just getting some bit of compliments right there. Oh my god, guys, thank you so much for the love. What's your favorite color, Jen?
My favorite color? Oh, tough question. I would say I like green just because of the renewal aspect. Green, I love different shades of green. Because just what the meaning of it is. Someday I want to visit. So my dream, and I know you didn't ask this, but it's part of why I would love the color green. I want to visit Ireland because like every time I see pictures of Ireland, it's like, and this is just pictures. So to see it in person, I think it would be more amazing. Like I will look at pictures of Ireland and be like, I don't know that spectrum, and I want to see it in person.
Ooh, wow, nice. Ireland. Right. And we did have St. Patrick's Day recently. Yeah. Peach, welcome Peach. And I think I thought I saw Grant's faithful GLP-1 journey. Thank you so much for coming in. And yes, guys, please drop those nice green hearts. Please drop those nice green hearts over at Jen's channel in case you've already jumped over there from my community. Drop those nice green hearts. Just make sure she gets that love. Some of you can drop the blue ones because I know some of you are looking at her outfit and her earrings and you're like, I like the matching. It's the lady understood the assignment.
I'm trying. Look, I am learning from all the YouTubers out here to try to show like. Again, I say my first couple of videos, y'all were probably all praying for me, just praying like, who is this human? Who is this person disguised as a human on YouTube? But as it's gone, I've gotten good advice. I have some really good mentors. I'm watching. I'm trying to like be presentable when I show up on YouTube.
Thank you for dressing up for us. Thank you. You looking stunning. Karis, welcome. Thanks so much for popping in. I thought I saw Karis in there. I appreciate it. And let me see. Chip is also in the building. Chip, thank you so much for popping in. All these amazing people. Thanks so much for keeping time, guys. So, guys, before we start this conversation, I know you all want to hear from her and what you're going to discuss. We're going to discuss a whole lot of things just to unpack who is JC Calamity Jane. Mr. Russian and Fabrics, thank you so much for coming in. I see you guys there. Thank you so much for popping in. So we are going to unpack a few things just for you to be able to understand who Calamity Jane is, what drives her content, what is it that, what's her story, and so on and so forth. But before I do that, I'm going to read a short background just to set the scene so that you guys can have a sense. Because I know some of you here before you are like, look at who is this beautiful lady we are seeing on the screen for the first time. So I'm going to just set the stage a bit so that you guys can get to understand who she is, and then you guys can be connecting as we chat. We will be a bit slow on the chat, but I'll try as much as I can to make sure I'm picking the questions that you guys are asking on the chat. I'll also try to highlight them on the screen. So in case I don't read out your name out loud, please bear with me. But in case you're a moderator in any of the channels, be the person to like make sure that in case there's something we are missing, flag it for us. I'll be able to see a lot of things on the chat. Flag it for us, and then so that we don't miss out on it, and then I'll be able to make sure that we don't ignore it. Right. So without further ado, allow me to read this quick biography on JC, and then we can get started. So let me clear my throat a bit, drink my water. Right. Just a bit of drama.
You're good. You're good. I'm getting a game invite, so I should have turned that. I should have turned Epic off. So oh well, that's a whole nother story. We'll get to that later.
Aussie, welcome. Aussie, nice to see you. Easy Home Cooking, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, guys, let us start this. Let me just read this real quick, and then we can get started. All right. So yes, and make sure you are dropping those nice green hearts. Remember, she loves Ireland. She has dreams of visiting that place. So drop those. And green is not just. I guess it's also inspired by her homesteading, and you're going to see a lot of those green pictures in her homestead. So make sure you drop those nice green hearts over at Calamity Jane's channel. So our guests, the beautiful lady you're seeing on the screen, JC_Calamity Jane, known to our community simply as JC, is a storyteller, homesteader, and health advocate whose life reflects both endurance and reinvention. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at just the tender age of 14, she has spent over 30 years navigating its complexities, from insulin management to the often unseen challenges of weight gain and insulin resistance. Now she's stepping into a new and deeply personal chapter, sharing her journey publicly. Through her YouTube channel that she started in September 2025, that was last year, slightly about 9 months ago, Jen documents her path towards reclaiming her health, including her experience with Zepbound, which she began in July after consulting her doctor about rising weight and fatigue. She started at 288.4 pounds, and she has lost over 21. She lost over 21 pounds in just like 9 weeks. But her story goes far beyond the scale. It's about sustainability, honesty, and learning to work with a body that does not always follow the rules. Beyond her health journey, JC's life is rooted in the rhythm of homesteading. She cares for a lively flock of 27 chickens. Each of these chickens is named after Grey's Anatomy characters, bringing humor and personality into her everyday life. Whether she's tending to a broody hen, clearing spider webs on her coop walks, or nurturing her garden. You'll be surprised to know that she, of course, she does not appreciate spiders, but she can always pet snakes. That's something that some of you I know you didn't know about, Jen. But she embodies a lifestyle that is grounded in patience, growth, and authenticity, as you saw on her channel banner. In today's conversation with Jen, we are going to explore how faith, discipline, and intentional living can shape a life of healing and purpose. Jen reminds us that caring for our bodies is an act of stewardship, and that transformation often happens in those small, faithful steps that you take each day. Jen, thank you so much for joining the Sunday service. I may not have done it justice, but welcome to the show. To the people who have seen you for the first time, who is JC Calamity Jane, in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, I think the best way to get me is understanding that I am my father's daughter. And we'll get to, if you've seen my channel, all my interests sort of lie in that story. I am also, as much as Texas angers me recently, I am a Texan. I am born, bred, been all over the state. My journey, I'm very much a Texan. And I am quickly learning that my northern brethren and sisters have a much harsher life than Texans do. So I don't know how much I should brag about being a Texan. But anyway, so I'm a Texan, and I have a lot. I think I'll just say this, and so we can hopefully this will shorten it. I can elaborate in other questions.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I have a large capacity to care and love those who enter my path. Whether they stay, they may not ever stay a long time. Some do, some don't. But while you are in my presence, I want to make sure I served you well in that capacity.
I love.
So yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell.
I love that. I'm ready to be a Texan too, darling. That is from Crooked Pitch.
Honey, I mean, it's good stuff. Like I said, we're kind of nutty on most days, but sometimes we compete with Florida for who's the nuttiest. But we're good over here in Texas.
Yes. And then Eva Kiko is watching you from Kenya. Says, "Nice. I am my father's daughter's too. Daddy's girl." All right. I always love that first nutshell introduction. And Anita says JC is an amazing, is amazing and it's an inspiration. I love that. Just taking your flowers there.
Yeah.
And some people are just shocked when they had the biography and they're like, did Goga read that right? 27 chickens?
It's 31. So I have 31 chickens.
Wow.
I have updated it. It's 31. So I have 5 roosters and 26 laying hens. I didn't. So the big surprise this week is because I've been debating about giving up those roosters. So you were probably maybe doing the math on that. I was thinking about getting rid of the roosters, but the roosters are still here. They're still fighting. They're still being roosters. We'll see what happens. I need to be okay to come. I need to be okay to come get these roosters and fry them up.
I will definitely let be okay though, because I know she'll be watching also in the bushes. So this is what everybody I'm sure is thinking. So Eva Kiko is asking, did you say 31? Do you eat them?
I don't currently.
I know it's very direct. Like
in my lifetime, I have processed roosters and hens and eaten them. These here, I am trying to love them to the capacity I can love them, but they are doing a lot of fighting lately. My husband doesn't like all the crowing, so as of right now, they are alive. It's not to say if a decision needs to be made, a decision will get made. It will not be on YouTube. There are people, if you are interested in that process, there are people who do show it on YouTube. I will not be showing it because I love these roosters. Like you don't understand. I have an unhealthy love for my roosters. They're beautiful. They are gorgeous. They have the best tail feathers. They love me. They think that I'm their hen. Each of them do their little dance around me, and each of them has a different dance. So I love these roosters.
Okay, I love how everybody on the chat you just took out everyone on the chat with that answer. They're just like, we give up on this lady.
Well, there'll be a public cookout after. So not of roosters, but once it becomes hogs, I'm derailing the Sunday Live. We do have hogs on the property. Last year, it went from 3 hogs in the spring to 11 hogs in the fall. So depending on the number of hogs that come through, there will more than likely be a public cookout of some feral hogs. So not chickens, but hogs.
All right, and then I think Crooked Peach said that she has like 28 roosters. So yeah.
Oh, I thought she only had Crooked Peach. I thought she had only one rooster.
Yeah, she said, let me see, I just got that, like she has 28 roosters. She said at some point, yes. She said
at some point, yeah.
I can't say, I think at one point I had 28 roosters.
Right, and a lot of people looks like, hey Reeve. And a lot of people, especially who have roosters, y'all know this. The issue is that at the end of the day, roosters need, and I won't get into all the science of it and the biology of it, but at the end of the day, roosters need at minimum 10 hens per rooster.
Ooh.
Because they are very prolific, and that's all I'll say. This may be a Wednesday conversation about that's more of a Wednesday.
You're such a diplomat. I just love how you. Don't worry, we love it. Me, you, and Winston says, I have 11 chickens. I got rid of all the roosters, and we all know where those roosters went. Because Winston, I think, has all the evidence clearly. We've seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys. For this.
Oh my God, dang! I need to become a rooster. I mean, yeah. I'm telling you, it's like a late night live. These roosters. That's all I will say.
Something something funny about your, so you've named all your, your
Yeah.
all your chickens. What inspired you, like, is it because you're a fan of Grey's Anatomy, or what was that inspiration? Because I'm just trying to imagine, like, what inspired that naming system?
So yeah, so one, to just keep up with the names. I needed, so we grew up, anytime we had like we grew up and we always had a lot of cats and stuff like that. So we always gave them a theme. Anytime we had a litter of cats, we gave them a theme so we could name them and remember the name. So I did the
Yeah,
same as I I knew I would have a lot of roosters because the way chicken math worked. Not sorry, a lot of chickens. I knew the way chicken math works. I started out
yeah,
with 8, and quickly that became 16, and quickly that became the number it is today, right? And so I needed a TV show that had a lot of characters. So Grey's Anatomy, and it's a drama, and it's a
yeah,
love drama, it's a medical drama, right? And
yeah,
so it just works out. And what's crazy is that many of them follow the personality of their characters, and so it's perfect. And so yeah, and I know usually the next question is, well, how can you tell them apart?
yes.
Most feather patterns, not all. If I had a whole bunch of the same type, it would be harder. But I usually would always get 2 pair of the same breed, and usually there's a significant enough difference that you can tell them apart. I mean, you just have to know their personality and know their feather pattern, and you can tell them apart.
And then Tiffany says, everyone wants, because everybody on the chat wants to be a rooster, especially after you say the comment that 1 rooster, 10 hens. The men on the chat are getting very excited for some reason.
They're very, well, and creativity in some of these. This is becoming a window show. Some of these hens aren't even angry. Some of them are angry about it, and some of them are just putting themselves out there. It's a mess out here. Like I had 4 hens jump into the bachelor pad on Friday. It was ridiculous. They're out of control. So, these hens are. I think that's a Megan Thee Stallion Cardi B song that would be appropriate for them, right? For these hens.
Yeah. And then there's something funny you said about, I think at some point, I think on your channel, you mentioned that these chickens recognize voices. And that was very fascinating for me. Like, they know, oh, and at some point you said that sometimes even because you're listening and watching people, so loud, like your volume is loud because you're working, they can tweak voices. So your chickens will actually know, oh, so mom is listening to Goga right now.
Yeah, they would. I mean, so I think Derek is the closest. That's who you hear. So yeah, so they can recognize up to 100 like faces. I mean, and I can't speak to like the detail in which they can recognize faces. Yeah. But they can recognize up to 100 faces, and then they can recognize, the different, which makes sense because, they're listening for hawk calls, predator calls. They're listening for each other. Like they have, depending on the threat, the level of threat, the type of threat, the warning, they have, they can hear each other. And then each of them also have different eggs. Again, I could do a whole live, Meredith and I here, because she has her chickens, and many of the people here, you could do a whole live about the different chicken egg calls they have. They have like, they let you know they're thinking about laying an egg. They let you know they're going to lay an egg. They let you know that somebody's in their nesting box. There's, there's a different sound for all of these things, right? They let you know that they have sat in the nest. They will say that they have finally picked a nest. They let you know if someone's bothering them in the nest. They let you know that, yep, that egg is about to come out. They let you know the egg has been laid. And then they let you know, hey, everybody, I've laid the egg, come get it. So and each of those things are different sounds. So their ability to recognize voices, it sort of makes sense, right?
Right. What inspired you, like, because people could pick any other things. It could be like dairy farming. It could be rabbits. It could be, I don't know, it could be, why chicken?
Chickens are amazing. They're calming. They're beautiful. Their plumage is beautiful. So, and they're just funny. I mean, chickens, and they do provide, a lot of people get them because of the egg, even though, again, we won't get into sort of the cost breakdown. I don't sell my eggs. I give my eggs away. We don't even eat a lot of eggs as a family. I mean, my husband eats a lot of eggs. Like he made an egg sandwich last night, and I'm like, have fun with that. I don't personally eat a lot of eggs. I like having chickens because, like I said, and I had chickens growing up. And so I just enjoy their plumage, their personality. They're just very like, I'll sit on the ground and they'll just walk around me and do their thing, and they'll sit on your lap. They're just really fun. And then they give this extra thing of eggs, and then I can go and then bless the community. I give to the food pantry, or I give to neighbors who need eggs or who want eggs. And so it's just a sort of beautiful blessing. I mean, if YouTube makes me these big dollars and I can retire, sooner rather than later, yeah, I would want to go ahead and get goats. I would want to go ahead and get some donkeys. I would want goats and donkeys. I really want my own. I love pigs. And so chickens are just, I wouldn't call it the easiest thing, because y'all seen some of the trials, but of those animals, they're at least the least costly, of those different types of animals. And you get this benefit of eggs that you can get, you can have for your family and then benefit others, of course. So it's just easy to pick. Hi, Jonas. Solving.
Right.
Yeah.
And Meredith agrees, because this is the only other person I know who can speak about chicken, like from like the same way you're doing it. And they're fun and they're smart and they have all their personality. She just went all I can see her. I can see how she's getting now.
It's pure comedy, these chickens. And then they'll have you doing things. I mean, there's times that I've been because they, they'll go, and I know they could come back on their own, right? But you're afraid that something will happen. And so you'll, they'll find themselves just in the wood, because, chickens originally lived in the woods. They lived in the trees and stuff like that. So they have a natural desire to just be in the woods. But here I am, I'll have twigs in my hair, and, I'll be beat up and cut up because of the twigs and stuff, chasing down chickens who, again, I know at dusk will come back. But because I'm worried about their life, chickens will have you do the strain. I have a chicken x-ray. Who in the world? I literally have an x-ray, a full body x-ray of a chicken.
Wait, what?
Right.
Like when people are taking x-rays, maybe before a dental procedure, you have an x-ray for a chicken.
Yeah, I thought she might have, because she was acting kind of funny, so I thought she might have been egg bound, but I couldn't find the egg. And yes, to find out if a chicken is egg bound, there is a process that you can do at home. I could not find said egg, but she was just in that posture and acting like that. And so I took her to the vet, or my sister actually took her to the vet, got it, they called, the vet was like, well, the only way they can do it is see if we can do an x-ray. And I'm like, go ahead and do it. So they did one. She did have an infection, or there was indication of infection, but she wasn't egg bound. So they gave her some medicine for the infection, and she's fine. She's still out there now. It was mammalia. And so, yeah, I have a full scan x-ray of it. And you find yourself, like, I get to talk about poop, well, for two reasons. I get to talk about poop because it's chickens. Like, who other channel gets to talk about poop, and YouTube is gonna like copy, bam, right?
And if I'm dying right now, but I have to be serious. Because I've never like it's how have you like. Jen, do you like listen to yourself? Like you just
I know that I'm. I know that
there's a passion in you speaking about chicken. Like I've never seen this.
Yeah, but I get to talk about, because like one of the best ways to find out what's wrong with the chicken is a fecal sample. Do we have any, like, if there's a scientist out here, if you can work with like these DNA companies and like come up with an at-home fecal sample test for chickens, like you would say, you would have so much money. It's my idea, so I want my 30% of my idea, but you can create it if you know someone out there. But yeah, if you just created an at-home fecal sample test for chicken tenders, our lives would be much merrier, because they get all sorts of diseases. You have to get a fecal sample to know exactly what it is, unless you can see it, right? But yeah, you find yourself, chickens lead you down a road of a lot of things you did not think you would be doing in your life. So that's, to sum it up, that's why I got chickens.
East African says, East African telling Meredith, when I start my farm, I shall eat them and we shall sell some to Goga and Eve. I don't know why you just like singled me out, East African, but noted. Dekas is asking you, Jen, so how many chickens is too many?
If you live in an area where it doesn't matter, I would say you want to make, so there's a math equation to this. You want enough, so I think you want to, I'm not going to give you the square footage because I'm going to say it wrong. But based on nesting boxes, like if you don't want to have to go out and collect eggs from out ever, you can do 3 to 4 you want enough nesting boxes for 3 to 4 hens to nest in, even though they're all going to go to one nesting box. But that's kind of the math as far as my coop goes. I believe they need, is it a 10 by 10 or 40, maybe a 40 by 40 space for depending on the number of chickens you have. But you want enough space that they can roam around because they can get a lot of diseases. But there's not really a number on it. I have 17 acres. So technically, if there were no dogs, if I didn't have an issue with dogs and predators, I'd have probably more chickens than I do now. And I would just let them roam around if I knew that they wouldn't get eaten. So there's not really an answer to that question. Because anytime, like the real answer I should give you when you ask me how many chickens I have, I should say, oh, I only have 3. Because that's how chicken math works.
And then Karen says, I doubt I'll be eating chicken again after this service. But let me just ask my last question, because I don't know if people are so excited about the chicken that we even forgot.
I will say that.
You even forgot to ask Jen. They totally forgot everything else. Like everybody's not just discussing chicken.
Chickens is YouTube gold. Get a chicken. If you need your channel to grow, get a chicken. But you need to get 3. Chickens like company, so get 3. So yeah, don't just get 1 chicken, get 3. But chickens are YouTube gold.
Aussie says, Deka says, nah, KFC don't like JC. She's putting them out of business with all these chickens. And then let me ask you one last question about the chicken business. When did you realize, there comes a point in somebody's life, you just started with 1, then there was just like 2, then there was just like 3, and when did the family start asking you these questions, like you're now holding chickens? Now they're becoming like company you're having, like it gets to a point where now they call you, there's an intervention. Has there ever been a family intervention because of your chicken?
No, not really an intervention, except I will say maybe the exception of the rooster. If you were to, my husband, we did the ladies who I do the behind the scenes with, Joe, Hermione, and DeBossway, who I did behind the scenes with. This question was actually asked of my husband. Does he know all the chickens' names? And he literally goes, "That's her thing. I don't get involved." So, the beauty of our marriage is he has his hobbies, I have mine. We have a couple of hobbies we do together, but we don't, we know what's in our bank account. We don't bother each other about our hobbies. We just say, yeah, go for it.
Fair enough. Meredith, Cricket Pitch, say hi to Chad back. I saw that greeting that Chad is saying hi. Please say hi back to Chad and tell him thank you. Thank you for the greeting. And everybody's laughing on the chat. Yes. NF says, I know them all. Yeah,
they're people like my community. They know my chickens. They know these chickens, and they have I love that they have their favorites. So a big fan favorite for a while was Mark the rooster, and I'm going to tell you why he was the fan favorite, because he would attack me all the time. He enjoys attacking me. And so all of a sudden people love Mark because he attacks me. Owen's the alpha. You would think everybody would love the alpha. Well, Junior likes the alpha. Junior likes Owen. I think Chip likes Owen, but yeah, and then now Alex became a fan favorite because everyone found out he's the smartest. Yeah. And so, because he learned how to escape the bachelor pad, he learned how to escape, and so I just let him live free.
Right. So back to what Eva Kika was asking earlier about the inspiration behind the channel name. Oh yeah. And I think so. What inspired the channel name Calamity Jane?
Calamity Jane. So, Calamity Jane is a historical figure of the Wild West. She was a sharpshooter. She rode around with Wild Bill Hickok, and I forget the other. There was 2 Bills she ran around with, but Wild Bill Hickok was her. And that's why my husband's YouTube name when he's with me is called Wild Bill. And so she was just a sharpshooter. She lived her own path and purpose in life. Wild West wasn't necessarily the easiest life, especially even for a woman, but she did her thing. So that's who the real Calamity Jane is, right? How it became my name, my father, we did back, because I'm a country girl, so we did CB radio back in the day to communicate. We had a phone, but my dad, he was a conspiracy theorist before it became cool. So he wanted ways to become, to communicate without being on a phone line. And so we did a lot of CB radio back in the day. So before YouTube, my handle, CB handle, was Calamity Jane. So that's where it came from. And we all had handles, and that was mine.
I love that. Beautiful. I'm Canada. How you doing, sis? Welcome. She says Mark is still my favorite, but I love how Derek follows Jen around at times.
Yes.
And then I think.
Yes. Oh, beautiful, Evelyn.
Yeah, Grant says it's a well thought out name, Jen. Just giving you a compliment. And then Grant also said some battles aren't worth waging with Alex. Yeah, some battles aren't worth waging with Alex. All right, thanks so much, everyone. And those of you who are just joining us for the Sunday service, we are having a conversation with Calamity Jane. And we are multi-streaming. So in case you're on my channel, please click on the link that is pinned on top of that chat so that you can jump over and be part of that beautiful community. Tasharia says, thanks so much for coming in. NF says, NF is like talking to Evelyn. That's why you love Derek. He's her sidekick.
The moment I come out, a neighbor came over to collect eggs the other day. Yeah. And Derek did his little dancer, and this neighbor works at the local ag center. He ran it for a while. And, I was letting him know, I was like, hey, if you know of anyone who wants roosters, let me know. And Derek came running up to me, did a little dance, and he goes, it's like, well, you're going to have to keep that one because, he probably, that's your rooster. And so, yeah, it's kind of fun. And then when I went to go collect some more eggs, apparently he started kind of charging at my neighbor. And yeah, it's like, yeah, he goes like, you're going to have to keep that one because he defends you pretty well. So, I have my own little so that's the thing about, okay, I know at some point we got to move on to a new topic, but that's the other thing about roosters. They're loyal. Like all roosters know is to protect, well, beyond being prolific, and this is why we have lots of chickens and eggs, beyond being prolific, all they know is to defend. That's all they know. And they will and their defense strategy is pretty amazing. Like, one day I'll try to record like how they, like if they hear a hawk, like how they defend it. It's a pretty amazing thing to witness because, like I said, I have 5. So you have some that are responsible for gathering the hens and kind of moving them to safety, and then you have the ones that kind of stay up as the guard. And then once they're protected, they kind of all stand guard, ready to attack whatever needs to be attacked. And what I mean by attack, they don't attack they will attack to fight and defeat whatever is there, but all they know is to defend until death. So if it means their life over a hen's life, a rooster will let itself die in defense of its hens. I mean, it's the most amazing thing to. It's amazing to understand how nature has built in these mechanisms for what word do I want to use? Longevity, if you will, or for life to continue. It's amazing how these mechanisms work themselves out.
All right. And thanks so much, everyone. Guys, I just typed something there. I know a number of you are asking me to type something on the chat. I just dropped some hearts. It's my channel is at Yoga with Goga, so I just dropped it over at Jen's channel. Thank you so much for that, and I appreciate the connection as well. Thank you so much, guys, for that support.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. All right. Let me get into the guys. I know at some point we'll come back to the chicken, but let us now unpack your journey, especially with with diabetes, and what was it like growing up? Because at 14 is so young, 14 is so young to be having to deal with something like diabetes. So what was that experience just growing up, especially take us back just to that early years, especially after the diagnosis. You have to go to school, you're still growing. What was that experience like? Because it's something that we've always thought that most people, and I like how you break in those perceptions. Diabetes, like most people like deal with it at adulthood, but at 14, of course, your family already had a burden that they had to deal with, especially after that diagnosis. So talk to us about that experience. What was it like, and how did you navigate it, especially at
Right.
that age?
Yeah, so I mean, so I think the best way for everybody to kind of understand this, take yourself back to your 14-year-old self. Like
Mm.
everybody kind of imagine themselves at 14. So so do that. Take 5 seconds to go back to your 14-year-old self. So to kind of give you the picture of the pre-diagnosis, I've always been active. I've always been outside. I did cross country. I did band. I did track. I was actually a very amazing hurdler. I did really well at hurdling. I really, really wanted to play football, but again, Texas, the South, and apparently girls can't play football, whatever. Words there. So it was suggested that I do, powerlifting and stuff like that. So, there was things that I did. I was very athletic in doing those things. So long story short, I end up going, there was an emergency situation. I get a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes. And there wasn't a lot known about it. I had to leave the hospital knowing how to give myself injections. So you have a little, vial of medicine and you have needles. So now I have to navigate. I'm the girl in school. I grew up in the area of, say no to drugs and all this other stuff. So here I am with my hypodermic needles running around. And experiencing lows and highs in the middle of class and stuff like that. So, so the one thing to understand, prior to my diagnosis of diabetes, from like 5 to 13, I had severely bad asthma, so much so that I was on a regular appointment, and my doctor did just a scan of my lungs, and basically my left lung, somehow how I was standing and breathing, I will never quite understand, but only apparently 40% of my left lung was functioning correctly, or not blocked or whatever. So I ended up having to go to the hospital to get my lungs kind of back up to space. So I went from one chronic disease to another, because once I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, my asthma was fine, right? So luckily I grew up in a very small community, and I think that helped, because the parents of my friends worked at the school. My mother worked at the school. So I had a major community around me, and I think that helped. When I would go, I did continue in band. I didn't continue. I stayed track manager and I stayed football manager, but I didn't continue for whatever reason. My brain, because I couldn't work out the balance of being active and not getting low blood sugar. So I just kind of shifted things of what I did. I did still stay in band, but I would go on band trips, and I would have to navigate, making sure I took my medicine with me. And there was one time I went to Galveston, which is from my location, it's like an 8-hour drive. I forgot my insulin. And so the ambulance had to the ambulance had to come get me to a local hospital and treat my high blood sugar at the time. So it was difficult. People don't quite understand the whole, you're having to shoot up, to get insulin in the middle class, because I had to take insulin when I did my meals, and I had to take insulin at night. It was tough. It doesn't have the technology that of course we have today. I don't know that anyone treated me differently, like as far as like, oh my gosh, what is she doing over there? So luckily that wasn't a reality. Food was hard, because we still ate, even though my dad at a later point got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. But we didn't really change what we ate, right? That much. And that would sometimes become a frustrating conversation to have with my parents, of like, I have this disease that I need to be mindful of what I'm eating, but I'm also, 14, 15, I'm not in the space where I'm picking and selecting my own food. Right. So it was difficult. And, what I would say at, 30 plus years later is I am grateful for my Creator's grace, because I don't know that I managed my type 1 diabetes until I hit my mid 30s. And so There would be times I would get the complications of like numbness in my feet and legs. There'd be times that on my eye exam they would see potential retinopathy, which is basically when the blood vessels hemorrhage in your eye, and you have to get the surgery and all this other stuff. There would be signs of that, but then once I would go to my doctor and it said, "Hey, there's signs of this, so make sure your blood glucose is stable," I would get it working correctly, and I would be fine. And so in my mid 30s, I finally, a couple of times, actually, even before that, I had one doctor, and when I was in grad school, who kind of looked me in the face, and I talked about this the other day, who kind of looked at me in the face because I was telling her all the things I was doing in life, and she goes, "Well, what's the point of all those accolades if you're dead?" I mean, that's literally what she said. And so I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And so, so I had to get my act together. And then again in my 30s, when my dad had to go on dialysis. In 2011, my dad had to go on dialysis, and that's when because type 2 diabetic, you can manage it with diet and exercise, and now we have a lot of medications, which I know we'll get to here in a second. A lot of medications to help manage type 2 diabetes early. If it's caught early, you can manage it well, avoid some of the complications. I am a type 1 diabetic, but I don't get my act together. It's not if I get these complications, it's when I get these complications, right? The microvascular and the macrovascular. So small vessels, big vessels, right? Vascular system. And so 2011, my dad gets a diagnosis around my birthday of needing to be on dialysis. And that's the one thing I avoid. For those of you who don't know about dialysis, it's, y'all can research it later, but it's intense on the body, dialysis is. And it's hard to get on a kidney transplant list, right? And so I made a decision that in that year I would lose the weight that I had gained over time. And so in January of 2012, I signed up for Weight Watchers. March of that year, I started doing Zumba. I lost 100 pounds in 2013. And I had it off for a while. And then between that time, I meet my dear who's Wild Bill, who's now my husband. We move across the country. My move across the country expanded my workday. Like, I think I was out of the house 12 hours a day, and I just I was not thinking about working out. I was not thinking about what I was eating and all this other stuff. And I gained all that weight back plus some, and that brings me to July of 2025. So I figured I'd give you the story if you need to get to 2025. So yeah.
All right. I like that. And I there's a comment that just came through on the chat. Grant says, God's grace is the only reason I'm still here as well. And I think you just say the same thing as well. Like, 14, a battle of 30 years, and you're still you're here despite the complications and whatnot. And it must be a very heavy burden. The fact that sometimes when the complications come in and they are very risky, that you could not be here. And then of course now have your dad and that experience of the early seasons and stuff like that. The support system maybe around the family, just maybe talk to us about that, especially after the diagnosis. Were they able to handle, and in case there's somebody like maybe who has just gotten this diagnosis?
Yeah, we've always had a strong, the core of our family. So, growing up, dad, mom, older brother. My brother's 5 years older than me. My sister's a year and 9 months older than me. She might be hiding in the bushes somewhere. So, and I'm the baby of the family. If you could not tell by my personality that I'm the baby of the family, there's signs that I'm the baby. And that I'm the daddy's girl and I'm the baby. There's signs. Anyway, we were a pretty core network because we moved into the community that we lived and grew up in. So we were really all we had. Not to get into a discussion, I lived in a pretty rural community. And so there was not a lot of people who looked like me in my family. And if there were, they were all related. They were all cousins and siblings and all the things. So we were kind of outsiders in our community. So my family has always been a pretty strong network for each other. It's hard to explain how we show up for each other as a family, but that's what we were taught, right? But I think my mother is a nurse by trade. And so that, of course, helped with just acknowledging when I needed support and when I needed help on a medical side of things. And then having my dad, who, of course, like I said, was type 2 diabetic, we could be each other's strength for dealing with diabetes, because diabetes can get tough. It can get depressive at some time. And then my sister and brother, my brother was my world growing up, and still is my world. Like, he's always been my hero in life. I never wanted to disappoint him and stuff like that. I'd follow him around like a little puppy. He'd be with his friends, and here I am, little, 5 years younger. So much so that when I would eat my lunch at school, they would be on their break. I would go sit with him and his friends. And my second grade teacher was like, you can't sit with your brother anymore. So and like I said, I told you, my mother worked at the school. I literally walked to my mother and said, Mrs. So-and-so said I can't sit with my brother anymore. And my mom was like, go back and go sit by your brother. And she had a discussion with the school, and that nipped that in the bud. And so, yeah. So, my parents fought for us. My parents fought for our education. My parents fought for what we wanted in life and made sure we weren't pushed back or held back because of because I'm a woman, or because I'm African American, and all these things. So we, if you have gotten close to me, if you know me out there and you've gotten close to me and know how much I can dig into a person's life and ensure their success, that's because that's what I had growing up.
I love that.
I had 4 people at all times around me that believed in me, that fought for me, and was not going to let me fail at any cost. And so that's how that translates into my health journey. Like, our family, we don't let you fall.
I love that.
We're not going. Now, will we let you learn a lesson? 100%. I have a saying: if you call me from a local county jail, you're going to stay overnight, but I will be there in the morning with a change of clothes and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But you're going to learn your lesson and why you shouldn't have been in jail. I'm not bailing you out, but I will be there in the morning to pick you up and make sure you have a change of clothes, a shower, and food. And that's our philosophy.
And that speaks volumes even in terms of the value system in the family and how you've been raised and brought up. There's certain certain value system you pick from a very young age, and they just never disappear or go away. And it also becomes a gift. I like what you said earlier on at the beginning. The service aspect, like you look at yourself as a service. Because based on what you're pouring into the people you
service. Scripture talks about is it James that talks about so one of my favorite script is powerful. It goes, and I'm not going to say it, so my scripture folks in the room get the correct verse for me, but it talks about the acts, yes, faith is good, but it's the acts. And of course, Christ said, I came here to serve, not to be served. And then my favorite quote, so the second president of the U.S. is my favorite president, John Adams. Yes, he had some bad policies with the, there's one bad policy that he had, but, other than that, he's one of my favorite presidents. But his wife said, her famous quote, one of her famous quote is, if not, I'm not going to say it right, but if not, basically it's not in the service mankind, who do we serve? Like, if we're not here to serve others and to bless others, what's the point of our existence here? So
I love that.
Yeah.
Very powerful. 30 years T1D, somebody on the chat said it very well, that that is an experience that you've collected and you're able to use to inspire a generation. In terms of just your experience having been through this journey for over 30 plus years, what are some of the misconceptions do you think people have of living with diabetes?
I think some of the biggest misconceptions that we can kind of translate into are, if we want to talk a little bit about GLP-1s, I think the
Yeah.
biggest misconception about type 1 diabetes, and there's several different types of diabetes. The one we know the most that is most diagnosed is type 2, which is, I'll just give quick sort of things here, which is basically when there's insulin resistance. So you produce insulin, but because of some dysfunction within your metabolic system and things like that in your endocrine system, it's not properly performed. Insulin is not properly performing like it should in the body. So that's type 2. Type 1 diabetes is when at some point in your life, it's oftentimes called by infection, but it can be steroid induced for different reasons. Your body sort of attacks the beta cells of the pancreas, and so you begin to produce little to no insulin in your body. That's what I have. It's considered an autoimmune disorder, so much that a lot, regardless of when it might show up in your life, the decision was made by your body at birth. They're still working on the science of type 1. But essentially, when people first hear the term, oh, this person has diabetes, they assume it's because of their lifestyle choices. And I am not saying that there are poor lifestyle choices. I used to get onto my own dad about sort of like, I'm not due to X, Y, and Z, but the meal you had last night may not have helped either, or the inactivity, as we get older, we get inactive, we eat differently. Most type 2 diabetics get diagnosed midlife, and try to tell a midlife person what to do. Yeah, not the best. Facebook hours. Thank you, Traveling T. So trying to tell a person in their midlife that you need to change your whole reality, it can be a hard pill to swallow. Some do it and some do it well. But the misconception is that it's assumed that eating too much, sitting too much is a person's choice, that it's, they need willpower, they need to be motivated. What we are learning now is that things related to type 2 diabetes, obesity in general, is that there's more involvement of dysfunction happening. Just like there was a dysfunction in my pancreas that caused the beta cells to be destroyed. There is a dysfunction in our metabolic and endocrine system that can translate into obesity that does lead to food not properly being processed in your body correctly, that it stores in your body incorrectly. We all have hormones and metabolic systems, and sometimes things don't function. I'm a person of faith and I'm a person of science. And one thing that, as beautifully as we are created, we are a giant chemistry set. We are a giant factory in our body. Those things can break down and do break down before we are of age. And, regardless of when it happens, things can break down. As a result, it leads to things like obesity, inflammation, all these things, right? And so that's the biggest misconception, is the assumption that if a person is not fit or a person is obese, that it's an issue of willpower or they're just eating too much. Well, there might be a reason they're eating too much. Hey, Candace, good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for stopping by.
All right. You're
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome, Evangelist Sandra. Oh, yeah, and I like that. And you said something, especially growing up. That conflict between diet. You're a young girl, and when we are young, we have a sweet tooth. There's certain things you want to eat. Like it's just, I have to go for the ice.
I eat honey buns like nobody's business. Put a honey bun in front of me. I loved it.
I have to go for the candy. So in terms of like, even just the diet, maybe just walk us through it, because I know you had to make certain choices, because again, you also don't, because from a health standpoint, so there's a battle here. I want to eat things, but again, I also have to make a compromise. And how did you like navigate that, especially those choices?
Well, you said,
not just
you're not doing it every day.
As an adult.
Right. Yeah, you're not doing it every day. And that's kind of the thing, like, for my birthday, I'm going to have a pineapple upside down cake. Am I going to have the entire cake? Am I going to have a giant piece of it? No, but I'm going to have, but my breakfast that day will be eggs, because I have them. I might do a light lunch, like, I'll do salmon and some asparagus. And then I'm eating that pineapple upside down cake for dinner. And so, and because I have this beautiful thing now called an insulin pump that I know as much, I know the number, I know the amount of glucose I need, and I'll
Wow.
compensate for it, right? And so what we begin to do is we sort of understand our bodies more and food more, and how, like I said, we're a chemistry set and we're a machine, and so we understand that protein needs, however you're receiving the protein, right? So whether that's through meat, whether that's through beans, whether that's through plants, however you're receiving that protein, there is a prioritization of protein that's needed in the body. I'm going to always advocate veggies, starchy and non-starchy veggies, because there's something about there's nutrition in. I don't do a lot of supplements other than vitamin D3, because I get most of my supplements from the food that I eat, or the vitamins from the food that I eat. And so I'm going to always prioritize vegetables and veggies, because one, I'm growing them. So you better believe if I'm going to spend the months and the days in the heat growing this stuff, I'm going to eat it. And so and then carbs are not bad. We just have to make around carbs that we're not eating them in such an abundance that our body can't process them quickly enough, right? So that's kind of how I navigate around food, is just I try to, and then portion. And I am on Zepbound, and that helps. So that helps with the food noise. I've been on Zepbound since July 16th. So that helps with the constant thinking about food. So the suppression of always thinking about food, because again, there's a metabolic dysfunction that happens with insulin resistance. And when insulin is not functioning correctly, that it drives us to eating when our metabolic system is not functioning correctly and our insulin is not properly working correctly. There's the natural, when insulin is not able to get into the cells, it basically is the trigger or the sound to our body and brain is, you are starving me of food. So your body is like, I need to eat something, because your insulin can't do the work that it needs to do. So that's the whole thing around diabetes. And so getting around to sort of carbs and stuff is that when our metabolic system is not functioning correctly, it's harder to break down what carbs are essentially for, and that's energy, right? So yeah, I mean, I still eat these things, but I do my carb counting with my insulin pump, tell it how much I need, but I don't do a lot of it. I'm not going to do as I did before, before Zepbound and some of this discipline and stuff like that. Yeah, I would eat ice cream, or give me those chips, give me whatever that I want in front of me, and not think about that I'm eating it, how much I'm eating, how quickly I'm eating it. But since being on that, the food noise has settled, and then feeling satisfied, right? The feeling of being satisfied once you eat is present, which wasn't before. And a lot of that, again, has to do with insulin resistance, signaling to your body it's had enough, right? And so as we lose weight and get some restoration to how insulin function, and it's not perfect. It's not like insulin is automatically going to be like, oh, I'm sensitive now. Let me do all the things I should have been doing, right? It's not that quick of a process. So some people will be on these medications for all the rest of their life, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some people will choose to not be on it. They just have to work with their medical team. And so ultimately, you've got to listen to what your body is doing. But as you lose weight and your insulin hopefully is able to function appropriately, a lot of those natural things that non-diabetics or people who don't have a metabolic issue will do well. My husband, he's a natural GLPer. He naturally has he doesn't think about food other than his scheduled time. He eats at 12 and 6:30. That's the only time he's thinking about food. It's like, what do I need to make? What do I need to heat up? 12, 6:30. That's the only time he's thinking about food. Ooh, wow. But he's a slow eater. He's a very slow eater. Like, I'm sitting here watching this person eat. It is now 45 minutes, and he's such a slow eater. His whole family is. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I'm a slow eater as well. I'm the person who is always left on the table. So.
His metabolic system and his it works. He's truly a natural GLPer in that he doesn't think about food. He is satisfied when he's eating a little bit amount of food. Like during the summer, I think he eats one meal, and that's pretty much it. And so, God bless him.
Okay. And there's a video
a lot today too. So.
Yeah, there's a comment that came through on the chat, and I think it spoke to you. Say that diabetes can also like have a depressive kind of, at least it can manifest in a bit of a depressive nature. So traveling, for example, says I felt so bad and thought it was my fault that I got diabetes. And that goes on a whole mental, mental state, like, and I like how, they say, I don't give myself enough grace. So
You have
in
to give
terms,
yourself grace. I mean, in my,
yeah.
I feel her saying my dad worried that it was his fault that I got, and so my dad's a
Oh,
Vietnam,
yes.
my dad's a boots on the ground Vietnam veteran, and there's a whole thing about Agent Orange, and I will not get into sort of my some of that, but a lot of veterans that served boots on the ground in Vietnam or who were exposed to the herbicide that is labeled Agent Orange. A lot of them have since then been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes from that time. And he worried, he felt some of that guilt at thinking, but that wasn't the cause. I have thoughts about why I probably had it, but again, we would need to do a separate Sunday service. But what I will say if you ever have to be on a steroid, make sure they're monitoring your pancreas, especially a long-term steroid. I would highly recommend that they monitor. Something's happening out there in the chicken world. Just make sure that they're monitoring your pancreas is what I would give the advice on. But I don't know that guilt. I'm a weird person when it comes to regret and guilt. It's not I don't live in those states for too long because we are far from Eden is what I would say, meaning the things that happen are the things that happen. The humans left Eden a long time ago, so that the thought that we are to be perfect and not free of things that happen in life, I tend not to hold on to that. And I don't deal with regret because I'm really bad. There's some decisions I would make today that I made, and I don't regret those decisions, but I had a good time. So
Thank you so much, Grant. And we have been reminded by Mr. Russian we need to hydrate. Thank you so much for that. We are drinking, guys. Did you notice we are all drinking water on the live stream? So hydrate. It's very important. Thank you so much for that.
He only does that because he's kind of my Nightbot when Nightbot isn't working.
He told everyone on the chat, can you stop what you're doing? Get some water. That's what Mr. Russian just said.
And if you've been sitting for this entire live, do 5 minutes, walk in place for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for that. I need to like do that. I need to like I need to introduce that one for walking. Nightbot reminds me to drink water on the live stream.
I put it in mine. I put the reminder to drink water, get up and move if I can. So
Tiffany says, I did the regret and guilt for 40 years. I refuse to now.
You can't. There's too much living. There's too much. That's the other thing. The best way to honor. And again, guilt. This was something I had to grow into understanding. But the best way to honor living is to continue to live and the present forward. Right? It's how we show up present forward.
Okay, we are not doing jumping jacks. We've been told to do jumping jacks right now.
I mean, we can. I danced on Hermione's live yesterday. You want to do some jumping jacks?
Yes, let's do it.
Do some jumping jacks.
We've been instructed to do some jumping jacks, so we might as well do it.
Make sure there's not a spider around me. Hold on.
Okay, let me put my camera as well.
Hold on, let me make sure my radius is good. Are we ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm doing more, but that's fine.
I think you need 10.
Oh, you do 10? Okay. I don't know how many that was, but there we go. Hopefully everybody else did it.
Guys, this is the first time I've actually done a workout when I'm on the Sunday service. So
yes, it's good to get up and move. Thank you, Mr.
I love that. That, guys, we're introducing that. Will make you guys move going forward at the Sunday service. I've learned something right now.
And half jacks. Yeah, half jacks are good too.
We need 10.
Stretching is very good.
That is actually a good idea. We'll be doing, guys. We're going to be doing that kind of stuff. We're going to be
I
doing
think it's
that kind
good.
of stuff.
Yeah, stretching's good.
Yeah. So let's talk about Zepbound. You've mentioned it and how it has been very it has been very helpful. I know also when you talk about diabetes, you also get into the controversial territory because some people will ask, is Zepbound Ozempic? And that becomes like a whole, the most popular Ozempic because everybody knows about
My
Ozempic.
celebrities, etc. Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
talk to us about this and how it was useful. How did you go about it? And any effects? Does it interfere with your medication or insulin management? Just for us to understand.
Sure. Yeah. So the two major ones, I won't talk about the third that's kind of out there. Well, it's not officially out. So I'll focus on the two that are FDA approved for both type 2. It was first created for type 2 diabetics, but then it was discovered that it had a side effect of weight because of what it's doing for insulin. And so there is a semaglutide, and if my friends can kind of type some of this stuff definition in the chat for everybody. So there's semaglutide, which is tied to Ozempic and Wegovy. And in the US, we tend, because companies have to make that dollar. So in the US, instead of just it's one medication labeled the same thing, we have to give it the type 2 diabetes label to get that money and covered by insurance. And then we have to do it as the branding label of the biggest money maker in the world, health and wellness, right? So you have semaglutide, you have Ozempic, and you have Wegovy. So the Ozempic is for type 2, Wegovy is for weight loss, but again, it's a semaglutide. I am on the tirzepatide, which is Manjaro for diabetes, and Zepbound for weight loss due to my BMI. I am a type 1 diabetic, and the FDA actually has not approved it for type 1 diabetes. I'm able to get it because of my BMI was high enough to be on it. So essentially what these medications do is that they replace peptides in our body that aid in satiety, which is the feeling of fullness, and suppression, which is the feeling of I'm not hungry all the time. And there's stuff working in the brain and stuff, because so much so that it's helped with Zepbound has been approved to treat sleep apnea. Zepbound has been approved to treat fatty liver disease or the alcoholic liver. Someone will correct me. And it helps with things like inflammation, but the FDA, while there's studies on it, the FDA has not approved it. Wegovy and stuff like that, I believe there's approval for heart conditions and stuff. So it's having, and then even addiction. But there's been evidence that helping with, because one of the things we're all doing, guess what we're not doing anymore? A lot of us aren't drinking anymore. So it's helping even though with those who suffer from alcoholism. So it's amazing, here. What I would tell you, going back to my 14-year-old self, I did not know the entire world would all of a sudden be interested in the functioning of insulin in the pancreas and these little things called peptides that support the proper function of insulin in the body. I would not have told you at 14 that all of a sudden the world loves insulin and how it functions in the body, right? But here we are. So.
Right.
That's essentially what it's doing. I started July after 4 years of saying no, 2025, 3 years of saying no, because my doctor offered it to me in August of 2022. My endocrinologist offered it to me. I said no. She still ordered the prescription. I still said no. Like, it sat in my house until I finally threw it away in September. Trulicity. But my primary care doctor in July said, you need to do something about this. And so he said, worst thing that can happen is you can stop taking it. So in July, I was 288.4. As of last Wednesday, I am 203.0.
Wow.
Lost, 80 something pounds and some change.
Yeah.
Somebody would have to do the math on that. So
that's like 80. Geez, like that's 288. Did you say 203 now?
I'm 203 now.
Wow.
So how about this? And stay tuned for this week, my friends. As of last Wednesday, I'm 203. I weigh on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I won't tell you the direction I'm headed yet. You'll have to stay tuned. Stay tuned for this week. I've been told by my manager I have to leave y'all wanting more, so I can't give you all the goods now.
Yes, and that is content. That is content because the people who are following need to they need to be part of that particular content.
Right.
Beautiful. I am colored is making me laugh on the chat because she said that she's been given some assignment to like pull some weeds. I love that. I love how she said it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have some good managers out there that give me some good feedback. Yeah. I'm 80. So it's a loss of 85.4 pounds.
It's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. And
so yeah, so that's where I'm at as of this past Wednesday. I probably have maybe some 50 some pounds to lose. And yeah, it's been a ride, and it's kind of like I shared with you when we were pre-gaming a little bit. As much as I am, because I am 100% excited about the weight loss, right? 100% excited. Like I said, before I'd lost a good amount of weight, so I know the feeling of being sort of able to trust your body, and that's what good health means to me. It's the ability to trust my body and do things. Y'all see me walk around my yard and stuff like that. I think I'm going to fall all the time. You see how uneven my yard is. I like to be able to leap over, an empty creek and not think I'm going to roll down the hill and stuff like that. I like being able, when I travel, I like going to places. I like, when I was in Florence, I went to the Medici Gardens and traveled up the hill to see the actual Michelangelo's David. Well, that's not the actual. There's two. There's one in Uffizi, and then there's the one on the giant hill. But I wanted to do that walk, right? I want to eventually go to a place that I can walk to the top of a volcano, right? And I need to be able to trust my body to do those things. So I love the fact that weight loss has happened in strength training, because one of the most important things if you're getting started on the GLP-1 is start your movement and activity, particularly strength training, at the jump. Don't wait for that. Do modified if you have to, right? So but beyond that is I've been able, so one of my dreams has been, or one of my goals, because I'm 10 years away from retirement. So one of my goals is to reduce the amount.
Did you say you're 10 years away from retirement?
I'm 10 years away from retirement, yes. I started working. I started working where I work young. And you can retire at 30. I'm going to say too much. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. People know my voice out there.
I was going to say, I mean, what do you mean you're going on retirement in 10 years? Like,
so where I work, you can retire with 30 years of service at 57.
Oh, okay. You're looking amazing for somebody who's about to get that time.
Right? With benefits. Good benefits too. But even with those benefits, I want to be able to reduce. My goal was to reduce the amount of insulin I'm taking. So I needed to be in better health to help reduce the daily amount of insulin I'm taking. So prior to all this, I was taking probably anywhere from 80 to 110, 120 units of insulin a day. Yeah. Probably 60 days, I finally ran all my numbers and my averages. I only take about 40 something units of insulin a day. So I've been able to reduce by over half the amount of insulin I take on a daily basis.
Wow.
So that was my goal. And at the end of the day, this medication has been able to help me meet my goal. It's brought back the insulin, because even though type 1 diabetics is an issue of little to zero insulin being produced, we still over time develop resistance because we're getting manufactured insulin. This isn't human insulin, it's manufactured insulin. And like any medications, there's side effects related to that. And there are side effects to long-term use of insulin, of manufactured insulin. Too much of it, right? Because too much insulin can lead to insulin resistance. It's a crazy cycle, right? Metabolic cycle. So, like I said, this medication has helped me and then some meet my goal to reduce the amount of insulin I take into retirement.
I love that.
So, and thank you. Can I do one thing for my mods and everyone in the chat? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being very good about welcoming everybody in. Welcome, Saint. I think, let's see, Saint, thank you for coming in. Paris, thank you for coming in. I just want to because I know there's a lot of people that have come in, and I just want to make sure I say their name. Why not Joseph? Thank you for coming in. And I know I've missed others, but I do want to just thank my mods for making sure they've
So they
been
did an
very,
amazing, they
mods
did
and
an amazing
non-mods have
job.
been very good about welcoming everybody into the chat. So I appreciate you for that.
Thank you so much. They did an amazing job. Thank
Yeah,
you so
that's
much.
like, I do love my mods. I know there's a whole, and again, this is a Wednesday conversation, not a today conversation. There's a whole thing about moderators and stuff, but I love my mods.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I totally agree with you that it helps, especially when you're having these conversations, that at least you're not distracted, and they've been doing amazing at it. And I think everybody, I love how at the Sunday service everyone always just comes in and they're listening more, which I think is really the purpose. And thank you so much, everyone, for connecting.
Yeah, no, they're really good. And my mods know that I can bunny trail easily, so that's possibly why too, that they're taking care of it, because they know I bunny trail like nobody's. Like if you could say one word and I would, and it's like, ooh, let's talk about that. So my mods, I mean, I think my whole audience knows me well enough to like know that I'm insane. So yeah.
I love this name, People. I love that name, People, Bob. I just love that name. It's a very beautiful
yeah, Bebo Daddy. I still don't say it right.
I know I can't even dare start because I'll end up butchering it, and
hey, Jonathan. Yeah, and Jonathan Connor from Muscle came in. So yeah.
All right. And thank you everyone who's connecting to JC as well. I see Wambura, I see Thrive and Glow with Joe. Thank you so much. Joe has also been here on our weight loss journey, so thank you so much for that. Carnivore Muscle, appreciate it. Losing 85 pounds, and I think let me just put it because Beautiful has captured it very nicely. Losing 85.4 pounds in a span of, it's actually less than a year, by the way, because you started in July. It's barely, well, we're just coming to the end of March in the next week. How do you stay motivated, especially when the progress is not necessarily linear? Like, because I know there are those days and you have a goal and stuff like that. So how do you just stay motivated to make sure that at least you're working towards the goal?
I will say, and I've shared this with my GLP-1 family too, is that because I lost this amount of weight when I did Weight Watchers, I learned from that journey that there's a pattern to weight loss, right? There's ups, downs, nulls. And I think having that, it's helped me with this journey of not freaking out if the scale doesn't say. If anything, it's telling me, it's like, well, reflect back on your week. Because I had a pretty big gain over a week ago. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I just made sure to reflect on, okay, what weren't you doing that week? I wasn't sleeping. I was going to bed too late, waking up early. I wasn't getting all my water in. I had a lot of sodium in my body, and then I wasn't getting my activity in. And so I had to ask myself and reflect on, well, what were the past couple of weeks like for you? And then, so it's being able to sort of scan outwardly, look at the entire journey, even when you're in it, look at the journey so far. Mm-hmm. I'm a pattern person, so find the pattern, even if it doesn't, once you display it on a bar graph, you can kind of see a pattern, and then you can just rest easy, knowing that the tools to help you recover or to help you sort of get back on track. So just focus on those. And then because of the way this medication works, there is up to a certain point, there is a titration up in dosage. And so if you're able to sort of follow that titration, like when you hear it, when the food noise is coming back or the suppression isn't there, then again, up until a certain point, you can titrate up. Then it's important to have those conversations with your medical team to kind of, okay, is it time for you to titrate up to a higher dose? And you have those conversations and make it happen. The other thing that helps me is I focus on 5% goals. Not so much. I don't say 10 pounds by X date. I don't say I want to lose X number of weight by, I didn't know how this would be. One, I didn't know that I'd stay on the medication after the first time taking it. I didn't know how it would impact my diabetes or my management of my type 1 diabetes. I didn't know what it would do to my body. Like if I was allergic to something in the medication, I didn't know, right? So I didn't put a time period on when I think the work, and I know I'm going to say this and offend people, but I still have to say it because I need people to hear it. Do not set a date or a timeline on how quickly you lose weight. It's the worst thing you can do for yourself.
I agree.
The absolute worst thing you can do for yourself. And and you make decisions around it that is not doing anything for your body. Your body will react. Like much like the earth, and we're not talking about the earth right now, but much like the earth, when we do things to our body, it is going to react.
Jen, by the way, Bill is here, by the way. I just thought you should know.
Oh, yes. Hi, Billy. Hi, Billy, 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 Billy. Yeah. Hi, Billy. So we do things to our sometimes we may make decisions on our body because of an arbitrary deadline that I will never quite understand, that wreak havoc and actually create the opposite effect of what you think it's going to do. So just keep it simple. Take your meds, get your macros in, drink your water, get your sleep, get your activity, get your strength training in. Take the other medications you need to take, the other supplements you need to take that your lab work says that you needed. Manage all the other conditions that you have. Be kind to yourself and focus on your journey, right? Those are the things that get me through the ups and downs, is I focus on my journey.
I love that comment about not putting a timeline to your weight loss journey, because it puts in a very awkward spot, especially when you don't achieve and then you start beating yourself so hard. So I totally resonate with it, and I love how you are very candid about it, because I think most people normally lose it in that particular space. And,
and we have to remember the weight loss industry, the beauty industry, the weight loss industry is it's one of the most giant industries in this country it's a self-serving industry, in the sense of it is going to produce products that aren't exactly effective, right? While at the same time producing things that are effective. So you end up getting caught up in if this same company or this same thing is telling me to use this and this works, then of course I'm going to use that. And so we just, it takes advantage of the desire to be certain things. And so we just have to be mindful of, sometimes simple is better, especially with the health journey. Simple is better because you want sustainability. And that's the other thing. The other thing I ask myself to keep me going is, what do I want to do 5 years from now? What do I want to do 10 years from now? In 20 years, do I want to restrict ice cream from my diet? No, I don't. I want to eat ice cream every day. I already told my spouse, it's like at 65, I'm eating ice cream every single night when I turn 65 after that.
I love that. Okay. And I think, let me see, I think there's a comment I may have missed. Let me see. Yes. Tiffany says, yeah, Tiffany agrees with you. I am learning to check in with myself, what I did well, what I could do better, and plan to add, try, or change one thing.
I think was that a question? Was that it? Kind of sounded like a question towards the end. To go back to it, I'm learning to check in with myself, what I did well, what I could do better. Yes, I love that. And that's what we got to do in all things, right? Whether it's a health journey or anything.
Yes.
That's what you ask yourself. Do that reflection time. What could I have done? Even our relationships, ask these questions. What could I have done better? What can I change? Things like that. Hey, Paguso, good to see you. And hey, Pauline, I know you came in. Kanan, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, everyone. Bigger says so informative. Thank you so much for that compliment. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. And guys, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. That thumbs up is very important. Oh, by the way, Jen is also a monetized channel. I forgot to say that, and we are going to get into that shortly. She's also a monetized channel. So when you see a dollar sign right there, make use of it. Click on it. See, that's some magic. And
I actually have that. So disclaimer: I just allow ads to run. When we get to the YouTube conversation, we can talk about it. But
all right.
I mainly just allow the ads.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll talk about that.
Thank you, though.
All right. Okay. The next thing I wanted to just maybe find out was in terms of so in terms of like balancing your insulin management, especially with your weight loss, and with your weight loss journey with with Zepbound. How do you like navigate that, or is there like any at any point where they conflict, or how do you just like navigate that also with your medication and what?
Yeah, so when I first, my primary medications are I do take a blood pressure and a cholesterol, and then I take insulin. That's daily. That's like blood, and then I take the Zepbound. And so the first time I did take Zepbound, because it is, and it is a warning, because again, it's helping with that insulin sensitivity and stuff like that. So I took it on the Wednesday. By the next day, I had not adjusted my carb. So within my insulin pump, there is an insulin sensitivity setting and a carb to insulin ratio setting. I had not changed those yet because I just wanted, my doctors wanted to kind of see what would happen. And so that morning, I think I made a smoothie that morning, and I ended up doing the same carb, because I do have to put the number of carbs into my insulin pump to decide how much insulin I need for that day. So I kept the number the same for the carbs. It's technically net carbs. So carbs minus net carbs equal carbs minus fiber minus sugar alcohols. So I have to put the net carbs into this. And so I put that in to my, I just did it as normal. And I drank my smoothie, forgetting that the key factor of Zepbound is satiety, which it achieves satiety, or that feeling of fullness, by slowing down your digestion. So if the digestion of carbs are slowing down, and remember, I just took my normal amount of insulin, so now I have more insulin on board than I have carbs broken down. So my blood glucose started dropping pretty quickly. And so, but I can still feel when my blood sugar gets low. So, I corrected it. I took some glucose tablets and some gels. And so I got my sugar back up. Immediately called, I sent an email. Again, I love my medical team. So I sent an email to both doctors and I said, this is what happened this morning. I sent my blood glucose readings. My endocrinologist said, update the settings to this. And I've not had to change it since. Oh, do we have another raid?
Yes, we got a raid from Pauline Kanini Kanene. Thanks so much, Kanini Kanene, for that raid. Appreciate it.
And I want to make sure I connect with everyone after this. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Kanini, for the raid. I see Natecho coming in through that raid. Appreciate it as well. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. And I just to take you back a bit. I remember you said you resisted at first, and especially your doctor recommended. What was the hesitation? Why did your heart not feel like you're ready for it?
It was the gastric issues. So this is sort of, so there's resistance to this medication for couple of reasons. Needles. People just generally have a fear of needles. Again, as a type 1 diabetic, it's gonna sound
injections.
People are poking me all the time when it comes to, I know that sounds awful, but deal with it. Anyway, sorry, YouTube gods. But yeah, people are poking me all the time with the needle. So, I learned not to be afraid of needles soon after being in the hospital. So, but the fear was because there are gastric issues. So like tummy upsetness, tummy constipation, really intense. You can have some really intense sort of gastric issues as a result of these drugs. If you're not, drinking enough water, you doing some of the things like, taking stool softeners. So this is the number 2 time I get to talk about poop all the time, because again, 2 times you can talk about poop is with chickens and with being on a GLP-1. This is the time you can talk about poop online, right? And so constipation is a big issue with this. And so, and then that can create, so much so, you can have like an impacted, sort of colon stuff. So there are a lot of issues around, some people have had significant side effects around with gastric issues as a result of these meds. I had heard about that. And you heard me kind of say, I went from being an asthmatic from 5 to 13 to being diabetic. And it's like, I don't want another condition I've got to deal with. So I hesitated for a long time. And I think in my head, I still was my mid-30s self that could turn this around, right? With exercise, with whatever, we forget as we get older, we get more responsibilities. Like a lot of us I don't have children other than my chickens and cats. And, but, a lot of us are, hormones happen. There's, menopause that happens for women. If one of my GLP-1s can put, men even go through a similar hormonal change as they age. We're dealing with that. People are raising kids and they're married or not married, or they're coupled up in whatever way, and they're taking care of their parents. What that then leads to is you have very little time for yourself, right? To take care of the things you need to take care of. And so what you could have done, what you may have done in your 20s and 30s to focus on health, it's not the same as you age, and so, I did hope those couple of years that this is something I could do on my own without the need for help of something that might cause these symptoms. And that's why I hesitated.
Okay, makes sense.
Oh, hi, Chef Jed.
Thank you, everyone. We did get a comment. I think that I know you may want to react. So Carnivore Muscle says, the better GLP-1 meds are being suppressed. Sabotage, I'm struggling to read them. Should have been publicly available years ago, not start.
So I'll talk about this. So, because I don't mind talking about this, and this is where I usually talk about. I kind of have a righteous anger with the medical industry on this subject. GLP-1s have been around since the early 2000s. Let's just sit with that. GLP-1s have been around since the early 2000s. The prevalence of type 2 diabetes has risen in that same time. They've known about the control of diabetes as a result of this medication, the weight loss. There's a great book called Think Like a Pancreas. And I'm not gonna. One of my mods can get the author's name, but it's called "Think Like a Pancreas," and he talks about it. He talks about how they were giving these medications, these peptides, to people in the early 2000s, and seeing great results. I can't speak to why it took the number of years for stuff to come out. I mean, I can, but not the live for it. I don't disagree that these things should be not only available, they should be affordable, because these drugs are not cheap.
I can imagine. In fact, I was going to ask you in terms of now, the cost of even just.
So the cost and some of it has been reduced due to some of the policies that have come out around. They could have been reduced more if we had made different decisions, but I'm not speaking on that. So interpret that for yourself. I think they are at for y'all have to give me the street numbers for stuff for Zepbound and semaglutide. I think they're in the 400 or 500 range still. Hi, Miss Nikki, to get them from Eli Lilly. I think they're still in the 400 and 500 range. Last year with insurance, I was paying $348. This year with insurance, I'm paying $25 a month for it, because I just changed insurers, but I'm also still paying for insurance, right? Which is X number of dollars a month. So these drugs, these medications without the cards are, can be $1,000 a pop, if not more. So, but they're doing the work. Now, if you have one of the conditions the FDA has approved it for, then it's covered under insurance. And that's why it's so important. That's why having the FDA approval is so important. Now, for other countries, it can be even a bit higher because, again, policies, because of decisions we make, policies. They unfortunately have become a little bit higher in other countries. And it's unfortunate, because these things are changing people's lives in significant ways. And it's impacting other industries. And so what's going to be interesting in the next few years is how the food industry is going to react to this, how the alcohol industry is going to react to this, and other places where people have reduced the amount of food they're getting, have reduced the amount of alcohol they're drinking. It will be interesting to see the impact of the cost of these medications once those industries get involved with having an opinion about stuff.
Okay, and thank you so much, Traveling, for the author of the book. We just got that, Think Like a Pancreas by Gary.
Thank you so much, Traveling T.
Yeah,
it's a really good book.
And then Carnival agrees with you that yes, totally agree. Joe uses this and she pays around 8 to 10 times more than what I can access.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. Okay.
And then said something. Let's see. You're gonna have to have.
Nikki says, Jen, you're going to have a rant live so that you can say what you really want to say.
I want to say a lot of things, but
I can't. She's like, Arr!
No, I'll say this, Miss Nikki, and this is for any audience that gets to decide who in their representative government, any nation who has a representative government. This is what I will say to this. Make the decisions that impact your life, not your social club. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps, Nikki.
All right. Let me see. In terms of like, I was just telling Kanene because she's getting shocked that we did jumping jacks on the live stream, courtesy of Mr. Russia. Routines or habits that have made the biggest difference in your life, just on a day-to-day basis. Because I know you're also great, also in terms of just like the workouts.
Yeah,
The
you want to know the biggest difference, and you can
Mm.
thank your guest from a few weeks ago.
Water.
Hydration, water. Work with your doctor, because if you have any kidney disease, you need to be mindful of what your doctor says if you have kidney disease. But she posted probably 4 or 5 months ago, and she did it just recently, her water schedule. So she drinks 32 ounces of water the moment she gets up. So I started doing that, drinking 32 ounces. And some people fear drinking water, especially before they get on a scale. What I will say, thank you to Bossway. Maybe I'll change that to my quote on my page.
And I'm laughing because I'm one of those people. Usually, when I check my weight, I don't drink water. I'm like, nope, this is going to be weight.
Right. And so she does 32, and she informed us that she did 32 ounces of water the moment she wakes up. And some people hesitate to do that because, they might get on the scale to do their weight, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to weigh myself with water in my system. But water gets processed a little bit differently. So the water you let out is not the same water you let in. So weigh yourself. I will say I've had great success drinking water first thing in the morning and getting things moving along, that I don't weigh myself on Wednesday and Saturday unless I drink my water first. Like, that's how much drinking water first thing in the morning has changed my life. So 32 ounces of water in the morning, and I think the goal is to get like another 32 before lunch, and then kind of the rest you split up the rest of the day. But again, your water goal needs to be a discussion between you and your medical team, because especially if you have other conditions, specifically kidney disease, you've got to manage that differently about how much water you get.
Okay. And in terms of like maybe the workout stretches, on
so I still do that. So I did switch things up. I'm trying to focus on strength training 3 times a week, because I have a goal. In one of my shorts, I showed y'all one of my early birthday. Was it birthday or Christmas? Let's go with birthday. One of my early birthday gifts from Wild Bill, my spouse, is because he's into compound bow hunting. I married my apocalypse plan, if you didn't know. So he can fly a plane.
Is he listening on the live stream? Will we get into trouble?
I won't get into trouble. So he's subscribed to me with notifications.
Does he know it's an apocalypse plan? Like, just check it.
I told him he's my apocalypse plan, and he met 9 of the 10 requirements when I was 5 years old, and I wrote what I wanted in a husband. Yeah. He met 9 of the 10 requirements, so he knows.
Ooh, wow.
So, and he knows he's my apocalypse. I've told him straight up. But yeah, so he does compound bow hunting, and so he got me soon after we started dating. That's what he got for my birthday. I think it was Christmas. It was actually Christmas. That's what he got for my Christmas present. But you need a lot of arm strength to pull that bow back, and so I'm trying to refocus on strength training so we can get back into bow hunting and stuff like that. So. But I still do my cardio. Zumba is I love Zumba. I 100% love walking. I like being outside, walking around, doing my garden chores, chicken chores. And then, like I said, I'm trying to try to prioritize strength training 3 days a week. So those are my biggest things. And then getting sleep. The number, and I know there's a lot of people who struggle. Us YouTube, I think all of us YouTubers we probably don't sleep as much as we should be sleeping.
Say it louder.
Say it louder. Sleeping. Like, if you can do one thing on this journey, figure out your sleeping when it comes to health, because your body, like I said, it's a machine and it's a chemistry set. It has to have that time to rest. What your body does during rest is a full process, rejuvenating, recover. I have a lot of my gamers on. Like, it is a true reboot of your body. Unfortunately, we live in such an age that sleeping is not prioritized. There's too many things taken away from our sleep. Zepbound is approved for sleep apnea. So if that's something you suffer with, go and get it. Talk to your doctor. But sleeping, making sure that's prioritized. I did not do that a few weeks ago and I gained. I mean, so there we go. So yeah, but those are the things I routinely make sure to have, and then getting my protein in. So yeah, but water and sleep are probably number one, and then adding in that strength training are the routines I try to hold on to.
No. In terms of like, did you have to by any chance alter your diet or anything with Zepbound?
There's not. So it's less that I chose to alter it than there's just certain foods I'm not wanting anymore. So like hummus, I love hummus. Hummus is a good. Chickpeas are amazing, right? And grounded chickpeas with tahini in it is even more amazing. And so, but I started taking this, and like I've lost interest in like hummus, right? The same thing. I used to be an avid sunflower seed eater, like avid. My granddad used to call me bird. Well, when I got diagnosed with my sister and I got diagnosed with asthma, my father cut smoking, and how he did smoking cold turkey, and how he cut smoking cold turkey was that he started eating sunflower seeds. Well, that translated into me. I became like addicted. Like I can clear not even those little bags, but I used to get these big like ounce bags of sunflower seeds, and I could clear 5 of them in a day. Like I can eat sunflower seeds like nobody's business. But that's not something I get anymore. So it's less about like I'm choosing not to eat this because it's not healthy than it's just not a food I'm interested in eating anymore.
Okay. So, yeah. Welcome, Oki Eden. Welcome, nice to see you.
Hey, he's been out in the garden today. He did his subscribers garden. He finished up his subscribers garden today.
All right, and then I see. Did I miss anything on the chat? Oh yeah, and then
Miss G, I see her in there, and I know there's a lot of others that I might have missed. Dr. Alice. So apologies. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And guys, if you're not connected to our beautiful guest, JC Calamity Jane, there's a link that is pinned on top of my chat. Those of you who are just joining the live stream, we are having an amazing conversation around tending the garden within, and this garden, and we're going to talk about gardens shortly. She's talking about her journey when it comes to like diabetes type 1. What she's been working on in terms of the weight loss journey. We've talked about chickens. To those of you like who missed out the chicken conversation, but I'm sure it will come up at some point because I know somebody's talking about proteins, and they just said chicken is protein. Anyway, that's a different story.
Chicken is an amazing protein. Chicken is amazing.
Yeah. I'm being told to grow a garden. I wish I had space, but I do now have like a garden outside the house. Probably I need to like put up something other than my flowers.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, container garden. I'm actually one of my actually not going to say it. Folks are already. Apparently, I'm inspiring a lot of people, so I'm not going to say what I'm going to do soon. So, but you can grow a garden.
Content.
More to come. But I am going to do a thing that will help you have a garden. How about that? And I'll make sure to tag you in it.
Please do. I'll be more than happy. There's some space that I need to utilize because I think I just got it's time. I think I embraced that probably as another content stream, and I guess it's because I love attending to my flowers, and it always makes me feel very calm and peaceful.
It's so growing your own things, it connects you with a different plane of the universe, so it's so important.
Absolutely. In terms of just maybe looking at the kind of mindset, when it comes to weight loss, and when it comes to like also just being open to trying out this medication, for example, overcoming the fear of injections. Like some of us, if I imagine injections, that's a different story. What would you say has been the hardest part of let's say the weight loss journey, for example? What would you say has like been one of those things that you had to like talk yourself? I like the idea of self-inquiry where you say what went right, what can I improve. I totally like resonated with that. But what would you say has been the hardest part of the weight loss journey? Now looking at it like almost a year later.
I will say the actual weight loss of things has been, and this is every time I say this, I feel awful because I know there's individuals that it's not been an easy road. my weight loss journey has not been overly complicated with at least at this time. So far, it's not been overly complicated by the medication or the circumstances to allow me to lose weight. Because again, the medicine in and of itself is not causing the weight loss. It's allowing for an environment for those things like getting enough water, sleep, activity, strength training, managing your macros, managing your portions. It's allowing it's creating the perfect metabolic environment, because it's supporting those peptides in our body to allow for those things we're told that if you just do these things, you'll lose weight. That's what it's it's creating that environment, that shield, if you will. And then you can do these things and the weight will lose. That has not been as tumultuous as I thought it was going to be. That is why I don't talk about, like, I have to be sort of reminded to make sure to talk about it on my channel, even though I started out as kind of in the GLP-1. I just came to find out on a week-to-week basis, my journey is not that exciting, or I don't know that I'm doing anything that others aren't saying already that I can say. I have theories on that, but I am not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I think it helps that I am type 1 versus type 2. That my insulin can't not work, because I have, again, manufactured insulin coming into my body. So the combination of that insulin working alongside the peptides is doing what it's supposed to be doing if our GLP-1s function correctly and if our insulin function correctly, right? So the hardest thing, and you're going to laugh, be prepared to laugh, and the boss way already knows the answer to this because she had to help me. We literally did a live because she had to help me. The hardest thing on this journey has been buying clothes. Because if there's one thing I dislike doing is shopping. I cannot stand shopping online.
Wait. Jen, we are going to get into trouble. There are people whose entire identity on YouTube is shopping.
I can't stand it.
Wait, what?
I can't stand it. I was raised to pick up snakes and fish and garden. I was not raised to go shopping.
Wait. You're the first person I've met in my nearly 40 years of existence that does not, that like speaks about loathing shopping with the passion.
Yeah, I had a friend who we went grocery shopping together. Best store in the world, HEB. He and I went grocery shopping, and this was in Austin. We went grocery shopping together, and I have my list. I do my perimeter, and I was out of there in like 15 minutes. We literally leave the store, and he goes, "That was the most stressful experience of my life." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It was so efficient. I had my list. We got out of there in 15 minutes. And he literally goes, "When I like shopping, I like being able to peruse everything. I like seeing what all the options are." And my mother and sister are like this too. They want to see all the options. They want to see the 20 cereal boxes, even though they're not going to get any. They want to see what's new on this aisle, what's new there. No, none of that. None of that. I in and out with my list. I want to be out of there. Same thing with clothing shopping. If someone said you get, here's $1 million to go shopping, or you can run around without clothes but no one would see you without clothes, I would pick that. That's
running around.
I see who's saying who they want to be my personal shopper.
Yeah, I know somebody was going to offer themselves to be a personal shopper. Let me see.
I put that out there. If someone wants to personally shop for me, more power to them. I'll put money on a card, and you can personally shop for me. I don't know anything about style. I don't know anything about fashion. I wear my Crocs with everything. Again, y'all seen what I wear. Y'all see what I wear.
Guys, you need to check out. Those of you want to be a personal shoppers, those of you are like shopping is your content. There's an opportunity right here. Open, jump on it, and then she can be giving you a shout out. I've been styled by so and so.
Oh, I could. I could be like, yeah, I could give style, but maybe once a month I'll get a new personal shopper.
Yeah,
and get to
styled
shop
by
a lot. That'd be fun.
divorcees, styled by it makes sense. So styled by Billy, as Billy says on the chat. Billy,
Yeah.
Billy, leave me alone. I don't. I'm not going. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, even when I went shoe shopping with again an early date. I went shoe shopping with my husband, and when we went to the store, there was two pairs I was interested in. I saw them, tried one on, got out of there, and he even said that's the fastest shopping trip I've ever. And that's how I am. Like once I make a decision on a thing, it's like I don't need a lot of time to know when I want something, right? But and my husband's this way too. He doesn't like shop, but when we finally decide on a thing, okay, it's like, yeah, we'll get it. But yeah, we're not neither one of us are shoppers, but we're
So,
surrounded by
so,
shoppers.
so your husband is one of those. So your husband is one of those men who appreciates that. At least if you see you guys are going to the mall, you know you will leave the mall in record time. You'll
That's
not be
correct. That's
derailed.
correct. Yep. And then don't even get me started on like the home goods stores, like the stores for the house. I
Yeah.
break out and because I can appreciate a thing in a house. Like if you have like a little trinket or a what is it called? There's a word for it. I can't say the word because I'm blanking on it. Tchotchke. If you have a little tchotchke in your house, like I can appreciate, oh, that vase looks good there. That chair looks great there. But if you put me in one of those stores and I've got to decide like which one to pick,
Yeah.
I break out in hives.
What about what about shopping for? And I'm putting you on the spot here. What about shopping for chicken something or
Oh, that
your
easy.
garden?
So chickens are easy. I know the pattern I want, like the plumage and
Yeah.
the feathers I want.
Yeah.
And I find the person who has those and we make arrangements. And yeah, shopping for chickens is fun.
What
That's
about your
exciting.
garden and your garden, the plants and what maybe
That we'll
fertilizer?
spend time on. So gardening and planting we'll spend time on because that's so actually so the secret, this is what y'all may not know about me. I'm a function over whatever the opposite of that is. So things that have a function in my world, I will shop for all day long. Things that it's just aesthetics. I don't get excited about that. So if I have a car choice, I'm going to go with the functional, not the aesthetic. So this sounds awful. For things to be in my world, I need it to have purpose. That sounds awful.
I almost say the monks will love you for it because of that simplicity that that's the way of living. That should be the way of life. Like make your life very easy in such a way that it does. Because they only say
We take none of this with us, but what we do take, what we get to reflect on towards the years, the twilight, is how we lived, what we lived, who we were around. That's where I put my value, and that's where I go to. But beyond that, like I see when people tell me the cost of something, I see a trip. So a friend of mine who likes shoes, they were like, "Oh, I spent $500 or $800 on these shoes." It's like that's literally a flight to Italy. That's a flight to Italy. That's a round trip flight to Italy. Like I'm planning a trip now, and I think it's like $886. So all I see is sort of the trip I get to make. But y'all, you may have said, if you have $1,000, you may spend it on this. I just see flights. I see a flight somewhere, an experience somewhere.
yeah. I mean, travel and everything. I like what you say. Functionality. I think for you works for you.
I'm gonna always pick functionality. I'm gonna always pick functionality. Again, it's all about the apocalypse.
Yeah. In terms of like your advice, let's say somebody wants to get on this journey, like they may not necessarily have the abilities, but even just from a mindset point of view, maybe somebody struggling to make changes in their health or even their lifestyle just to be better. As we grow older, it creeps, some of these things creep on you, and you start making some intentional life changes just to make sure that you're living your health. What is that one piece of advice, knowing what you know now, in case somebody's just about to embark on that mission?
I know it sounds, and I see Evelyn, because Evelyn talks about this a lot.
Yeah.
You've got to understand whatever journey you're about to go on. What's the end goal? So I do project management, and so the trick with project management is begin with the end in mind and work backwards. So on a journey, especially about weight loss, and it's not the how do I, it can be. If it's about a look you want, if it's about how I want to look to the world, fair. That's a goal, right? If it's about how you want to feel, like I talked about feeling secure in my body, feeling I can trust my body, being able to, get stronger, all those things, begin with the end in mind. And having sort of understanding kind of, again, that support system around you, family, your medical team. But if you understand that, and again, my end game is the rest of my life. It's not, I met this goal weight. It's, I want my retirement, my journey to be filled with travel, laughter, activity, brain function. I want my cognitive mind to still be solid. So how do I get there? So the choices I'm making today is, how do I still have a sound mind, at 80, 90, whatever? How do I have a body that, and I know things can happen along the way. How do I have a body that will perform for me, right? What are the health food choices that I can make today that I can also make, unless we come up with some, you can just breathe food and it sustains you, right? What are the choices I can make today that I can still make in 30 years? So, getting, again, that insulin down. So that's the advice I would give, is like, set your sight on what you want the rest of your, what you want, whether it's a retirement goal, whether it was, my parents lived to this and I want to be able to go beyond that. So what does 70 look like to you then? What does 80 look like to you then? And then begin to work backwards on that plan. Because it may be different for everybody. What that, like, the type of pill they take, or the medicine they take, or the path they take may look different. Yeah, reverse engineering. But beginning with that end in mind will set you up for success.
I love that. And I think, even not just Tiffany, but I think even Cheryl agrees with you with that statement of beginning with the end in mind.
Yeah.
And that takes us probably now to the next conversation, which is YouTube channel. You started your YouTube channel in September last year. What was the goal? And and I'm saying this because it's very important for me to state this, and then of course we'll talk about this.
Right.
Your channel is not yet 12 months old. You've achieved certain milestones on your channel. You started a YouTube channel in September 2025.
Right.
The channel is fully monetized. It's in the YouTube Partner Program. The channel has over 6,000 subscribers. The channel has very regular content. She does live streams at least every week. Videos are posted regularly. I know, I like what you said at the beginning when you're introducing yourself, that Goga, I was doing these things even before YouTube. So it was just like moving my daily life on the internet.
Right.
Talk to us about that decision. What made you what inspired you to actually click on create? Because I know you just had a Gmail account and then
Right. I'd say it's a lot of some of the GLP creators here in the room. So, the GLP, so I always lived on YouTube as it was YouTube University, either for home or for work. Hey, you got to make this product in 3 months. You're not going to get paid to be trained on this system. Figure it out. Here's the system. Figure it out. This needs to be due. Oh, by the way, it's not really 3 months. It's 6 weeks. Okay. Got it. So I would go to YouTube for that, just for that. Or we need to fix something. Again, my husband and I are frugal people. We're not paying anybody to do something if we can fix it on our own, right? So it was always YouTube University for us. And then because I don't watch the late night, talk shows when they happen. I watch it later. So that's what YouTube was: entertainment or education. But I started because I wanted to kind of get a basis understanding for the, how some people handle the symptoms related to GLPs. And so, and specifically, how, and this may sound surprising to some, but I'll just say it. I wanted to see how, especially women in their 40s who were African-American, how they were doing on it. So that's what my search was. And then I made those connections with, Traces of Twan, Downsizing Diva. Some of the people, I think Kim J was hanging out. Low Carb Queen was on this journey around that time. And I know I'm missing names. I always feel bad about naming names and knowing I'm missing some. Simply Taisha and Tamika, she is Tamika. And so, I followed them very early. And once you get into these chats, people get to know you, right? People get to know you, but they want to you just know yourself from the chat, right? I didn't really understand community posts at the time. So it was highly encouraged, you're on one of those things. And I was like, and I'm also a type 1 diabetic. So one thing you'll know about me, I like to make sure people use the correct words. And so when talking about diabetes, it's very important. We can assume it's type 2, but we shouldn't.
Differentiate, yeah.
It's very important that we name diagnoses. So type 1, type 2, regardless of the medical, we name the diagnosis, right? So I was always in there writing paragraphs about, yes, maybe type 2, but type 2, because I know my background, what I do for work, I know a lot about type 2, right? And so anyway, that translates into sort of, I need to show up in a different way if I want to communicate out better. And so initially it was going to serve a couple of purposes. Let's talk about me being on a Zepbound, being a type 1 diabetic. And so that's how I got there. But then I quickly learned that for me, especially like in October, it goes back to what I said about the end game. It's easier for me to talk about this journey if I talk about why I'm doing this journey, not how I do this journey. So why I do this journey, because I enjoy gardening, my chickens, being outside, because I like living life. I like being, if I'm waking up in the morning, there's this life I want to live if I've been given the grace to wake up. And so that's what it quickly became, is just more about sort of what I did. And that's so why I started was to be accountable in those spaces, accountable with my gardening, accountable with my weight loss, accountable with, what I'm doing with the chickens and stuff like that. And so this goes back to, people say they can't do container gardening. We did well with container gardening. And this was like corn and all the things.
Oh, sorry. Let me. Oh, I just wanted to run on the screen, but I think
Wild Bill. So that's me. That's the pictures on the left, but this is me. That's our container gardening in our apartment. And what you don't see here is Wild Bill took some cantaloupe seeds, because there's a forest behind the gardens, and Wild Bill took some cantaloupe seeds in the forest back there and took over the forest and started planting stuff in the forest. We didn't ask, we just did it. And the seeds from those first cantaloupes that we did in the forest, we still use the children of those seeds today. This is once we moved into our first home. We did corn, we did all sorts of things. But you don't need it. And we did not have a large space in our first home. It was less than half an acre that we had.
Oh, wow.
But this is collard greens, which collard greens are great for constipation, FYI. This is squash, lavender, and then we have tomatoes. Wild Bill loves his tomatoes. We usually do about 14 separate plants every year. This is the beet.
I was going to ask you about I'll ask after this.
And then some of the fruits of our labor there.
Nice. This is
that should be that is broccoli. Those it's without the head. So broccoli, it will still grow shoots. Even after taking off the head. Yeah.
Okay. And then there is
and those are cantaloupe there. They haven't gotten the skin and stuff on it yet.
Okay. And then, of course, this is you. Do you have okra in the farm? I'm just asking.
We don't. So I'm not I know you can use it for all sorts of things. We haven't grown okra. My husband wants to grow it, but I don't eat it in a lot of things unless, we're preparing like different gumbo or stuff like that. But we haven't done okra yet. But I've heard it's an amazing one to grow. So maybe we'll try it soon.
Okay, cool. The anti-okra crusader is not here, so I just had to ask for his purposes, just in case, because it come for me tomorrow. In terms of just your approach when you started your YouTube channel in September last year, Um, very public journey, but at least you did have a lot of people in your community at least who encouraged you to do it. Was it intimidating at first? I'm just and think of it in terms of maybe the first video, the first live stream, the
Not,
first show.
I think was the most sort of where I consumed it. We all do it because there's new creators doing it now. We all do it. We're worried about the subs. We're worried about. So I think that was kind of like who's going to come and watch, who's going to come and do things,
Yeah,
who's interested in what I have to say. Speaking live because I do it often. It's natural to me. I'm a natural talker. My brain processes communication better speaking. Like my brain to mouth, which gets me in trouble. Sure, my brain to mouth connection is easier than my brain to writing or creating and editing. There are people on this live. I'll just say that have my feelings about editing. My feelings about editing and why I don't like why you see less vlogs. How about this? It's taken a lot of younger people to explain to me the importance of editing, and that people want to see people want to see thumbnails, people want to see end screens, people want to see clips, people want to be told call to actions. You've got to tell people to do these things. People want to see comments or the pinned comment and answer those questions. So it's taken a lot of tough love to get me to where I am today with the vlogging and editing and the shorts process. Lives are easy for me because I just enjoy, I enjoy talking to people. Yeah, so that's the easier. So yeah, was I eager to get to a live? Sure, because I knew that's where, but I knew I had to get the work in to get the 50 subs you need. And then, the impatience of seeing subs go down and all, you think you did, and when you do an edit, I think it's personally the most amazing thing on the planet. And it's still sitting at, 2 weeks later, it's still sitting at 20 views or 10 views or the 8 people who loved it, right? So yeah, so those journeys was hard. And then where I pivoted a bit, well, I'll stop there, and then depending on what your next question is, we'll talk about talk about next.
Yeah, no, that will be my thing because for me, I love those stories that somebody is starting off on YouTube, and I like how I like how you tied it up so nicely. Like you are a consumer. You research, right. I need to do something, get onto YouTube, get it done. So for you, it made more sense then. But now you jump on this other side now, where you become the person who creates what you are, used to like look for. You become now the solution person. And my question here is going to be, what was that moment for you as Jen that, you may not have told people publicly, but you just, when it dawned on you that there's a reason this is why I actually joined this platform to do this. That moment, what was it for you?
It's a good question. I think it was, it had to have been kind of those first couple of lives to just see people show up, right? Mm-hmm. To see, I think there's something about, because your first live, you're like, who's going to come to this? Who's coming to this?
Yeah.
You make these connections in the chat, but there's something about that people really like this stuff, right? And then of course the first time I showed sorry, Lawrence, the first time you show the chickens, like I love my chickens, who else loves chickens? And then all these people show up, just they just want to look at, because I think Hardorine is still in here, so I'm gonna get on, like I get messages from her about I've not seen my chickens in a while. Like if she goes 2 or 3 days without seeing chickens, there's a problem, right? And then I ended up live streaming the hatching in November of last year. I ended up live streaming the hatching of the older chicks that Mark, Owen, Alex, and then Jules and Simone. I ended up live streaming their hatch, and I went to bed because I knew how long this hatching would take. But every once in a while, if I woke up, I would check my phone. And there were like at 2 a.m., there were like 5 people in the room watching this bird sitting on eggs, waiting to hatch chickens. And I think there's something phenomenal. So I am able to tell people now, like people who are coming new and starting, like Grant. I know Grant had to go to choir practice. Yeah. He, sometimes people worry about, because everybody's live streaming. Everybody's live streaming at the same time.
Jen, let me cut you short a bit.
Is that?
There's a young girl who is waving at us. I wanted us to wave back at her so that she feels nice. Grace, Tiffany's daughter.
Oh
So Tiffany,
yes.
yeah. Hey, Grace.
Grace.
So she'll feel at least. Let me make sure that she feels amazing. At least.
Yeah. Yes. Hi,
Yeah.
Grace. So yeah. So it becomes like to see people like really enjoy the chickens or miss the chickens and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that, but would it be around that time? It's that first live when people are actually, when it's like, oh, they want to hear me talk about this. Because my family doesn't want to hear me talk about my chickens for the 15th time. And so it's nice to know that other people will let me talk about my chickens anytime I want to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. And in terms of just like, so for you, the milestones. Of course, the first milestone, get 50 subscribers, then you're able to go live. What was that milestone? Which was like the biggest milestone for you on YouTube? Because I know a lot of people look at milestones differently.
Yeah, I think for me it was that lie, because I think, because again, Joe, Harjareen, Hamani, because they heard, I think I sat at like 40 something, like it kept going down from like, it would be at like 48, and I'm like, oh, okay, tomorrow, and then it would go to like down to 40, and then it would be that, so you get that. And then I would say the next big milestone would have been the next 100. Every time you got that next 100, it's like, wow.
Yes.
More people want to hear, and knowing like what content they're jumping on. So I got a lot of my subs from from shorts, right? And then there was kind of this whole like, when as you're building monetization, don't get so caught up in the shorts, because you're not going to get watch hours from those. Yeah. But that's how I was getting my subs, right, or new subscribers. And so I battled with that decision of like, some people did remove a lot of their shorts and stuff like that. And, I kept doing them because that's how I knew I was getting my subscribers early on. And so, but I also knew at some point the watch hour game would need to come up. But that's also when, as you build this, you sort of learn about, be consistent and people will watch your stuff. It's also knowing that there's a community of supporters, and I don't think understand Russian. So knowing that you have to kind of be consistent, because that's what keeps your regulars. So you may get those subscribers or new subscribers through shorts and new viewers through shorts, but it's your support system that you have around you that will watch your stuff for watch hours. And so learning about whether it was getting into the connect and grow. Thank you so much, Mr. Russian. I'll try to, like I said, he makes sure we drink our water. So, someone else is going to have to take up the charge of drinking our water.
Thank you, Mr. Russian. I appreciate you, and I'll check you out as well.
Love
and
always.
Thank you for making us do jumping jacks on a live stream. That's a first on this Sunday service.
So, knowing that, and it's driving me nuts because he's going live and I'm a big supporter of his. So it's like, it's driving me nuts right now that
we could raid him when we are done.
I may have to do it.
We could raid him if he's done, if he's still there.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! I don't know if he did it. If he set it up, I don't know that he set it up. But yes, we can. I would love to do a raid on his stuff. But so anyway, so we essentially, understanding the connection. That's okay. 1 hour is important. A lot of people going to a 1 hour live is kind of important, Russian. Yeah. So anyway, so understanding that at some point, the GLP-1 community, it's an interesting space when it comes to growth. Again, we can do a separate thing to talk about it. It is a niche market, but it's also a market that people stick with their expert. It's not to say now a lot of content creators will support one another, because we're all content creators, and different supporters, like supporters only, will show up in those spaces. But the increase on subs, I don't know that the GLP-1 community is a little bit different than what I experienced with, and it could be me, because I didn't, like I said, I didn't talk about my actual GLP-1 journey a lot, so I could be the issue there, right? Because that wasn't the content I was pushing as heavy in October, November, and so what I began to understand, especially involving with the Connect and Grow communities, whether it's a Kindy K, the Source, Tuber Chat, Local Reviewer, and there's a couple other communities out there, the Are You Locked In movement, is that you have to begin to, yes, continue to support one another as content creators, but then you have to begin to sort of find your supporters. There's people you support, but then you've got to find those people who support you. And that's based on you being consistent with your content, right? And kind of watching the things that people want to see about you. Then I had a big sort of come to Jesus moment that I had to sort of be like, I'm not just one thing. I'm never going to be just one thing. I'm going to be the things that I want to share, the stuff I want to share out with you, whether it's homesteading, chickens, gardening, cooking, my polymer clay stuff. You're just going to get a little bit of me. I'm going to be the niche. And I said that in a live. I will be my own niche. And so, and it's trusting that. And now we're in March, and what is YouTube talking about? The personality creator is what YouTube is driving. It's not.
I love that statement. I am going to be the niche.
Right. And I said that it's like I don't believe in. Yes. Do I believe in an AI algorithm? Yes, because it exists. But what drives the AI algorithm? Hey, Round Mound. What drives the AI algorithm is humans. What viewers are watching. So we can move the algorithm. And again, I was doing a search for something else on ChatGPT about something, and it randomly said to me, it was like keywords. It wasn't even this thing. It was, this is perfect for what YouTube is now driving. The personality creator, where niche does not matter. They are coming to see the creator, regardless of what you are talking about.
Absolutely. That's powerful.
I was saying this in October when I was going through my crisis of what my channel should be.
Hey, to assets. Welcome. Candy, nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you. Guys, if you have not yet connected to our beautiful guest, please do that. I am the niche. Like, it takes a lot of power to just have that conviction.
You have, but because I witnessed it. Look at your channel. Look at Real Odds. We may have all started as a thing, but we come for the creator. We come to hear that voice. We want them to say our name. We want them to acknowledge us.
Yeah.
What is beautiful, what the thing about humans that AI and algorithms and all these things don't quite understand is at the end of the day, humanity wants to be acknowledged for having been here.
Absolutely. 100%.
It drives every decision we make. Hey, it's Darium. So those are the things, as I hit the different goals, I will speak to, subscribers. It's just, again, that consistency showing up. Because of reasons outside of this, we're not going to get into, I had a lot of days off in October and November. So I was in communities. But it was communities of spaces of things I'm interested in. I'm not going to go to a space of things that don't interest me and try to get subs. So I'm interested in gardening. I'm interested in people who are personality creators. I'm interested in people who do food and food ways that I enjoy and I love. I'm interested in people who do travel. I'm interested in people who do art and things like that in different creative ways. And I'm interested in the people and the person. I'm interested in gaming. And I understand that people don't, and DeBossway she was right there with me late night in those things. And it's not to say that I need to showcase those things all the time on my channel, but if I'm doing it and it brings joy to people, I'm gonna show it. Because again, it's a channel that is about if this is my health journey, again, it's more important that you know why I'm doing it than how I'm doing it. But I will talk about the how in that process.
Yeah, and I know one thing I like and I like how you gave those different different facets that is you. The moment you said I am the niche, you are literally bringing that richness and the wealth that makes up JC Calamity Jane.
Right.
So if JC loves gaming, if JC loves gardening, if JC loves, I'm going to use this example wrongly, shopping, because she
Right.
already says she doesn't like shopping. Yeah, I'm just going to use it wrongly. It will come out in terms of the content that you're producing.
Right.
But also in terms of when you're making a decision, like what that pivot moment, because I know when you started, it was about
Right.
my diabetes type 1 journey, and I like what you said there earlier, that you become an authority figure because you have the lived experience for it. So people are likely
Right.
to listen to you because when you give an opinion, you're speaking from a place of experience, as opposed to somebody who is just like winging it. And
Right.
you can always tell when people are speaking as an authority on YouTube,
Right.
and when they are exploring, they are not so sure.
Right. I like that. Yeah.
So when did it occur to you that I need to pivot? I'm not just like discuss my journey with diabetes and weight loss, but also let's bring the chickens in. Oh, let's bring the personal reflections in somewhere in there. Okay, let us slide some collaborations in here as well, like that.
Yeah, no, I think it was when I realized there wasn't a lot to say about my Zepbound journey. Like so let's fast forward. Or sorry, let's rewind back to
Rewind.
Let's rewind. What did Missy tell us?
Yeah, those sounds. Yeah.
What's the reverse or flip it and reverse it?
That is it. That is it. Round. That's the word I was looking for.
Right.
That's
the word.
Multidimensionality. Exactly. That one. Yeah.
Right. So this would be my week to week live if I just stayed on Zepbound.
Yeah.
Hey everyone. Did my shot on Wednesday. I drank my water. I stayed on schedule and I drank my water. I woke up this morning. I did Zumba. And this is what I ate. Here's the food I ate. Here I did my smoothie. I did, and it had this much protein. We had turkey for dinner, and I did some sweet potatoes with the turkey, and then I did a turkey meatloaf for lunch, and here are some, and we just paired that with the salad. I went to sleep at 10 o'clock. I woke up at 5:30. And then Tuesday would just be, instead of Zumba, I did strength training. And this is what my scale said this week. That's literally every week of my journey. Wow. I've not added, I don't have I have not, and it's less of me comparing myself to other channels, but I've not introduced other things to go along with this journey that might educate others. I've just taken the shot. I've just drank my water. I just did my 30 or 45 minute workout, either strength training or cardio. I do my insulin. So I don't know on a week to week basis if that would have added value to my channel. And in a project management sense, it's all about, and Lean Six Sigma is where is the value added? And if I did not see it, I'm not saying that my audience wouldn't have seen it. I just don't know they would have learned. And maybe I need to trust my audience more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what thumbnail would go with that. How about that? I don't know what thumbnail and thumbnail text would have gone with. Different week, same journey. That's what that would have been, week 25, different week, same journey. That would have been my thumbnail weekly. And I don't know the value added to that. I mean, y'all would have to tell me. But
Makes
where
sense.
there is value added is, I feel, as a result of my health journey, I don't need to worry about my type 1 diabetes anymore. I'm not worried about the day-to-day management because it stays so stable, right? Type 1s aren't really on YouTube. They're mainly on Instagram and TikTok, and those aren't platforms I'm really on. And so that's why the pivot happened, is because I think it would be more, in a journey about what is essentially your lifetime, how you want to behave in your lifetime. It became a journey about why I'm doing this, not how I'm doing it. And that was the pivot for me.
Wow. When did the channel, so what was your pain point, especially as the channel was growing? So I like how you say, yeah, I like how you talked about thumbnails, editing, da 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 da.
That's the
What was
pain
the pain?
point. Like I said, I have people that are really honest, and I'm gonna pray they're not in the room, who are very honest and literally.
Give us the receipt.
I'm a perfectionist. So, okay, I am a perfectionist. If y'all didn't gather, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm a type A personality. So much so, when I made a 98 on a paper in college, I literally asked my professor to tell me where the 2 points went. Hi, Darian again. I said, what could I have done to improve the 2 points, right? And I do the same thing with my bosses now.
You are that girl.
I am that girl. So when someone, different generation, when someone says you need to do more editing, I probably only like about 80% of your stuff. You have never witnessed. I think my husband could have told me, like, I don't know. My husband could have told me, like, this sounds awful, that one of my roosters had gotten caught in something. And I don't know that the pain would have been the same. So when something I worked at, like, I thought it was really good, and literally said, it's okay, but I only like 80% of your stuff anyway. That killed me. That killed me. I learned how to edit, and I try to pay attention to editing. So yeah, it's gotten better. I try to ask ChatGPT better thumbnails and all the things. So that was a pain point. And then about the only other pain points I would say is, because we are humans, right? We are humans that don't really know each other, really, even as much time as we spend together. And sometimes when we are able to join together and collaborate, emotions can kind of get in the way because of something not stated, or something not stated, or stated and not understood. And this probably, I've witnessed this a couple of months ago, and I've witnessed it happen to people, and even most recently have witnessed it with individual groups, and that is hard to watch. People kind of, and I get it, people come apart, people do different things. People, again, anytime humans are involved, emotions will be involved, right? And it's hard to watch it happen. Because at the end of the day, and it's over things like views, numbers, and it's over, again, why I love this platform, and I love the connections that I make. And I will hold, there are certain connections I will have for the rest of my life, God willing. It is hard to watch people kind of fall apart over something like YouTube, something that, again, is an artificial thing that, hey Calamity, it's hard to watch something break people, that at the end of the day, there are a lot of humans on this planet. At least 60 or 70% of those humans have cell phones, and then a lesser percentage of that have access to YouTube, meaning there is someone on this planet that's going to watch your stuff. Don't worry about whether they're watching someone else, whether X person is watching somebody else's and supporting somebody else. There are a lot of humans to share your content with, and that is interested in what you're doing. Pay attention to the people who show up. Don't worry about the ones who don't. They can watch the replay, or they never show up, and that's okay.
True.
And so those are the 2 pain points on YouTube for me. I need to be better. I need to learn things. At the age of 47, I need to learn things. And make sure, and my audience is the majority of my audience is 10 years younger than me, according to my analytics. That's kind of cool. I love it. And so I kind of have to listen to what they want, right?
The audience.
I've got to listen to what they want. So if they say I need to edit, I need to edit. If they say I need to put a random sound in the middle of a short that makes zero sense to me, then I'm going to put a random sound. I don't need that sound, but they need that sound. So I'm like, okay.
Reload says facts. Hi, Reload. Nice to see you.
Yeah, and then the other pain point is, again, just there are a lot of humans. If one person shows up to my chat, I'm gonna be, my goal is that I will enter, like what I had planned will be the same for if 50 people show up. You know what I mean? You just gotta show up.
Yeah. I like that point, because I remember there's a time I think YouTube and the same drama you're just talking about. Like I was on somebody's live stream, and they were literally on a whole rant about how people don't come to my live stream, and it was a whole thing. And there were like 3 people there, and so it was a bit of it was very interesting, because I was like, but there are people here chatting with you, like
it's a little bit dismissive, and I will say as an audience member, it's dismissive. I call them the gimme people.
Yeah.
How about let's not talk about for 5 or 10, 15 minutes about who's not in the room, and let's focus on who
Absolutely. That's
the thought. Make your space a place people want to show up, right? And then, I mean, there's a couple of other pain points that I have, but those would be the biggest ones. And I'll be honest with you, there's times that I love my channel, and it would be very sad not to have it and to have the connection. But it's also something that if it ever became too much, I have this world out here that I am devoted to, and it would be okay. Worst case scenario is I start a new one, right? I mean, start a new one. Like if I want to go, I did that with Facebook. I was off Facebook for I've been off Facebook several times in my life, and the longest time was like 14 years, and then I recently got back on because I needed to get more chickens, so I had to get on it. And then once I got the chickens, I got back off it, and my life doesn't crash because I'm not on Facebook.
Love that, and I think that's a great point. Maybe, yeah. So Tiffany says that cycle of obligation becomes torture if you allow it, and I think that's a great question just to ask you in terms of the pain points and what you've learned, at least almost 1 year. And I like how it's almost 1 year since you joined the YouTube platform and got active on it. In terms of just how do you stay sane how do you stay sane to make sure that you only share what you want to share, and you're not like you don't share certain things that you still think that are very private and you have to hold them to yourself. Yet the viewers are like, oh, tell us about this, and maybe you're not comfortable. I
usually just tell them. I'll tell, like, if someone asks about where I work, I would just say, in a great place that I love. I'll answer the question. Right? And if it's a question that I have got to be mindful about how I answer, then I try to word it in such a way that people understand. Right? If they really want to know, they can email me. Right? So I think the biggest things that had caused sort of insanity, I did change up how often I'm showing up, because there was a moment there that I think I was going live like every day. So I did cut that down. That's very recent because I needed to cut it down because I was missing things. I was delaying real life things. Like I usually do my taxes at the end of January, and it took me 2 weeks to finally do my taxes. Hey again, Ro. And so, I noticed that I was starting to kind of miss things around the house and stuff, the small stuff, but I was like, I need to kind of back off how often I'm on YouTube. And so that's the biggest one. Where I have done kind of a newer pivot, like I'm still creating content and stuff like that with my kind of my new drop schedule and my live schedule. Probably the biggest thing that is delighting me these days is supporting. I want to support channels that are still trying to reach monetization. So that's been my biggest goal. I still go to channels who are monetized and support them, but it may be like I'm only in their channel for 30 minutes. I may only be on their live for 30 minutes, or I just leave them streaming on a device, or I'll drop like some gift memberships and say hi and then head out, right? But right now where my heart is, like how I want to show up on YouTube, is supporting creators who need their watch hours, who need their subs, that's where, like, there are times that I've said to myself, like, I kind of want to go back to just being a mega supporter, right? Because I like seeing people, because for me, this isn't necessarily where I stand today, this isn't necessarily my retirement plan, nor maintaining my full income. So that's part of the reason, I turned off my monetization, except for ads and stuff. I turned off my super chats and my membership because, one, I really wasn't doing stuff that would only be for members. I don't know that I have enough spreads that it's only members that need to see it. So I turned that off. I turned off super chats and things like that, just because I am blessed and I'm okay with that. And it's not to say I don't want supporters to not feel they need to do that. But I support another channel who this is their livelihood, this is their retirement plan. I'd rather that money go to those individuals, but I'm fine with making dollars off of ads. I'm 100% fine with making, so, because it also drives this, watch my stuff. When I see I'm meeting my ad watch threshold, I know that people are watching my stuff, right? And so that's where I really want the support is. I'm creating this thing. I want you to watch, comment, like, share it, right? That's where I really want my supporters to support me there, right? But my heart is for, again, getting those people, helping people with their monetization, supporting their watch hours, and supporting, if I can be a community where people come and connect with one another so that they can get their subs and stuff, and real connections, right? Because, again, go to a channel, don't sub to sub. If it's content that interests you, if whether it's the person or the content, then subscribe to those individuals, right? So you still get to make that choice. Don't sub for sub's sake. Make sure you actually enjoy their content. Hey again, Ro. And Rebecca. Good to see you, Rebecca.
Sorry, I'd muted. Thank you so much, Rebecca Prince, my sister from the UK. Thank you so much for that. I like there's some nice comments that came through here on the channel. Let me just go to Darium. Darium said,
oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, Darium said something here that I wanted to just highlight. And yeah, still Health India. Yes, the masquerade ball is going down next week. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that reminder. Yes, it's going down next week. It's gonna be fun. You're most welcome. Nadine, thank you so much for connecting to JC as well. I appreciate that.
Oh, Nadine is wonderful. We've been connected for a bit. I love
nice.
Nadine. I enjoy her stuff.
Nadine, how is your husband? Say hi to your husband for me. I know he's there listening, so just say hi to him for me. Yeah, I like what Darium said. Darium said, that's how I am with conducting meetings. I start meetings for those who are there on time and not those who are on the way. I think I love that particular statement. I think it was very powerful. Monetization. I like how you said you turned off the super chats and the ads, but also you're one channel that got you grew very fast and you ticked all these YouTube milestones in such a short time. To somebody who's just starting their YouTube channel and that the people are just joining the live stream. So JC started her channel in September 2025. She's fully in the YouTube partner program. It is March 2026. So you can tell it's been 9 months. That is like a very fast growth. There are people who struggle on these streets. I'm gonna be the person that's honest with you. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying there are people who are not honest with you. I'm just gonna be the person that's honest with you. So yeah, October, November, December. Because again, I had leave, not my choice, and I have leave that was my choice. I spent a lot of time connecting, doing the thing of going into comments of something I've watched, and hey, X-Red, going into comments of something that I watched and connecting with those people in the comments. Hey Betty, go and do that. Like if you're in comments and something, if someone, you may not be connected with them, but they say something that resonates on a channel that you're also watching, say, yeah, I agree with you. And you see that they're a content creator or stuff like that, or they may not be a supporter. Make those connections with those people, because they will check out your channel if they see your creator and may connect with you, especially if, again, it's the same subject matter that you're interested in. Again, connecting communities that you are interested in, the content or the creator, right? You don't have to necessarily stay just because your niche is X, Y, and Z doesn't mean you have to, like, that's the only content you consume, right? Mm-hmm. You can be a GLP-1er and like
what's it like gardening. I'll just do it something easy. Make that connection. And what you're seeing now, I'm just gonna say what you're seeing now is people on GLP-1s are now talking about gardening because it's part of a healthy lifestyle, regardless of if you're on GLP-1s. You don't have to. Got to do real odds is here, so I'm forced to do a demo of something. You don't have to stay in a container if you don't want to. Don't. You're interested in something, do it. Connect with people who are interested in those channels. It's that simple. That simple. People come to you for you. That is why people show up to your channel for YouTube. So that's number one. Number two is, I think I was in a live at the end of December, and some people finally started, because we all see that promotion button. We all see it. Yeah. I'll be honest with you.
That's a topic for them, actually.
I didn't know what it was, and I never looked at it. And because I was like, one, why would I pay? And it wasn't why would I pay for X, Y, and Z. I don't pay for YouTube Premium. I will watch an ad, right? I will watch an ad. So again, you remember, I'm a frugal individual. Why am I paying for anything? You know, I'm not paying for YouTube Premium. I'm not paying for ChatGPT. I'm not, and this was again before December. I'm not paying for this. I'm going to use the free stuff until I burn it out, right? So I saw that promotion thing and never thought anything of it. And then I don't know whose live I was on, and they started talking about the promotion thing. It's like, let me look into it. And I'm like, it does what? And what I like about the promotion thing, I don't do the view one as much because you're not going to get watch hours with promotion. Yeah. So, and I'll get back to watch hours in a second because that's the biggest factor to monetization. But so I don't do the view one because again, you're not getting watch hours. And if your content is good and you've been doing all that good editing that people are telling you to do, you know, you'll get the views, right? But I did do the sub one. But what I like about the sub one is YouTube is not promising you subscribers. And this is the biggest thing to remember about promotions. You get no guarantee of views or subscribers using that promotion. People have to want people, all it's doing is pushing your stuff out, getting impressions, and then someone has to make the choice to subscribe to you. So it pushes you out to the content, like so if it's about gardening, if it's about chickens, if it's about whatever, it's pushing you out to people, viewers who are watching that stuff anyway. And if they like it, they've got to make the choice to click and subscribe to you. They're not people who are just being paid to sub. They have to choose to want to stay on your channel. So I don't have as much heartache about using that because the human is still making the choice. And there's no guarantee that they subscribe to your channel. So, and I've gotten really good connections from that. Like the type 1 diabetics in the US, I never got. But I am getting the type 1 diabetics in Portugal, the type 1 diabetics in Italy. So I get to learn my Italian. So I get more out of that relationship than they do.
Yeah.
So I don't mind using it, right? And so I don't use it a lot, but I don't mind using it. And then the other thing that I would say is the watch hours. Listen to people when they tell you, focus on, try to get try to do a live 30 minutes, an hour, but do lives in such a way that people are going to be guaranteed to watch the replay. So, lives that are 30 minutes, 45 minutes, things like that, you're going to get replays on that. Or do a live if it's longer, break it up when you turn into a vlog because you get the watch hours with the live. And this, I think Chip, Kenny K, different people have told us this, right? You get the lives with the actual live, you get the watch hours with the actual live, you get the watch hours on the replay. So that's, 2. And then if you want to cut them into like 8 to 10 minute segments, that's 3 revenue sources you're getting from a live, right? Absolutely. So when I started learning about those things, that helps the watch hours. The biggest number one thing about watch hours, and get your content, be consistent, But the number one thing about watch hours is your supporters. Yes, some of those will be content creators, but make sure you're getting non-content creative supporters. So when people randomly come into your comments that they're not a content creator, give them love, true attention, because they are going to watch your stuff. And that's what you need. You need a guaranteed 10 plus people in the room so you can make your watch hours worth it, be of value. Build your group of non-supporters. So when you start seeing people who aren't content creators in your comments, give them love. Tell them thank you for being there. Show them attention. Talk to them. Communicate with them. Give them the content they want to see. Because those are the people that are going to be watching your watch hours. And then build a community. When you see people like Fairbricks, Oki's Eden, Fairbricks, Oki Eden, myself, local reviewer, when you go into these chats, and you see folks that are saying, Tuber Chat, I will, trading playlists are saying, or you're seeing them put on their post, hey, I'm doing watch hours this week. Anybody need watch hours? I haven't done it this last week, but I'll do every Wednesday. Haven't done this past week. I'll put, hey, if you need watch hours, let me know. Because if I don't know you need watch hours, guess what I can't do? Watch your stuff. So when people are saying to you, I will watch your stuff, listen, and take action on it. And that's what I did.
All right, on target.
And then get in the communities that really believe about growth. Like, I know it may be hard because you want to get your name out there and maybe the niche that you're in, but get in communities that support growth. I won't even talk, the gaming community, they could show y'all a thing or two about support. That's all I'm gonna say. They could teach us a lot about supporting people, the gaming community. Don't sleep on them. But the gaming community knows how to show support to people, and it is a thing of beauty. Yes, and blessed life journey. Support generally. Be authentic. And if you see people supporting you that are creators, you need to support them back. If you see other creators in your chat all the time, in your lives all the time, if you are not going to their channel.
Makes sense. I like, there's a comment I think I got here from Rebecca. Yes, don't be greedy to receive without giving. I think that's what I was looking for.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, just there. And everybody else stayed right on point. In terms of now, David, I think your okra question has been answered. Yeah, David is our resident anti-okra crusader, and David was asking, David, you could have you don't need to she's very direct. She's a sharpshooter. You just need to ask her whether she eats okra. You don't need to be decent and say, quick question, Jen, would you watch and support okra related content? No, Jen, don't answer this question. What he's trying to ask you is just trying to ask you, do you take okra? What is your opinion on okra?
I don't personally eat okra all the time. I will eat it if it's put in gumbo, but it's not one of my favorite things to eat. So we don't plant it. But do I support okra related content? I support creators who happen to grow okra.
What about the ones who eat okra?
What's that?
What about the ones who eat okra? Leave alone the growers.
I mean, I support people who may or may not eat okra. But I don't dictate what people do on their channels, and I don't dictate what people eat.
I like that. We're just okra. I think you've been answered. Let it go. The okra question has been answered. I'm moving on.
I love it. I love it though. We have to know the line, right? We have to know our line.
Okay, guys. We're getting to the tail end of the interview and the conversation. So, in case you have any question you want to ask Jen before we close this down, please type it there on the chat real quick, and then I'll be more than happy to highlight it for her. I know there are a lot of comments which came in through around gardening, and I like what the boss Ajarine was saying. I wish I would have paid more attention to my grandparents. They had gardens and the animals to make their own food.
We'll take care of you, Harjarine. There's enough of us to help you.
I like that. And then there was also, I think, a comment on, yeah, just something, just a general interest around gardens and everything, and which takes maybe to my in terms of like gardening, and I think we were doing some homesteading, daily life, and that kind of content. When you look at your hobbies, like it's not the chickens, it's not the gardening, it's not like caring for the animals. How do you think your hobbies intersect with your wellness journey? Because I know it's like you capturing the daily life, but I know there's a method to that madness. Like there is
Yeah.
something that people feels, and that's why you keep doing it.
Right. So being in the dirt makes me happy. And I don't know what other way to say it.
That came out so funny. Like
Well, and now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds semi-morbid. Being in the dirt makes me happy, right? Um, um,
somebody should clip that into a shot. Being
I'll
in the
make it,
dirt
make it.
makes you
Being in the
happy.
dirt, return. Yeah,
That's a
being in
shot
the
right
dirt.
there.
It makes me
Clip it.
happy. I was always outside as a kid. Always outside. I had a bull that was my best friend. There was our neighbor had a bull, and every day after school, I changed into my little overalls, pick pecans, and go. And my parents would find me sitting by this bull,
Yeah.
and I just love being outside, and in the dirt. But how it fits it keeps me active. It keeps my brain active. It keeps me in peace. Like right now, I'm hearing there is a road by me, but I'm able to kind of tune that out. But I can hear the birds. I can hear my chickens, and just the sound of nature. The winds rustling. There's a communion with when we are two important communions for me, and why I love YouTube. How it connects to my channel, being in communion with other parts of nature, again, just taps into not only my faith but my
Mm,
the science of how things work. Right, we think we're in control in a garden. We started off well, but there's no control. I know in the next couple of weeks we're going to get tornadic weather and straight line winds, and all things are going to wreak havoc. But there's something about eating that food, right, that nourishes our body. Knowing where the food is coming from, and being able to pick your own food. We've got to. I believe all societies in this world has to become a more sustainable society, and how we begin to do that is growing our own food. Right? That's one of the ways we can begin to become a more sustainable society, is knowing how to grow our own food for food to eat. So there's that communion just with nature that is just essential for me. There's the other communion that we do, is that's just connecting with one another. I think I've shared this in another live, and I believe it's in Psalms 4. It talks about speaking to God, talking about let the light of your your light shine upon us. So the idea that the reflection and the light of God shining upon the faces of humanity, right? So each encounter that I have with another human is another encounter that I've had with my creator. I know there are bad actors in the world and awful individuals in the world, but I hope I'm not hanging out with those people, right? But everybody else, I live a life where I'm going to encounter you as if I'm encountering another of God's creatures, right? And so that's another communion I get to make with my creator by encountering another person. And so the interactions I get to have on YouTube mean I get to grow my mind. I get to grow who I am as a person. I get to learn new things and about new people. Another saying I say often is, humanity is both fascinating and frightening at the same time. I tend to lean on the side of fascinating and hope that I can grow and learn more about how I can move about the world better. And I do that by meeting new people, right? And making those connections. I'm not happy when my brain isn't stimulated. I'm not a happy person if my brain is not stimulated. So that is a healthy Calamity Jane is one who is outside being active, who's able to rest in nature, and who has a stimulated mind. That is a happy Calamity Jane.
I love that. And guys, I know you guys are getting excited. Those of you who came late, I'm not saying that you're late, but it's just that we all arrived early. But yeah, those of you found us there and you have not yet connected to Calamity Jane, please drop on her chat. The live stream her link is pinned on top of my chat. Go and drop some nice green hearts like the work you're seeing on the screen. We now have our final chance to do our last thing that we normally do with the guests at the Sunday service, which is the rapid fire, questions.
I love this. I love this.
Yeah, before we release, before we get her to, like, of course, wrap up the conversation for us, and then we figure out, we release her, and then we figure out who we are going to raid after this. And then I think Rebecca says that was quite a preach. Yes, no,
Sorry, I get on my soapboxes, so my apologies.
no, she just spoke from the heart, and that was the most important thing. Jen, I don't know that there's any exercise you want us to do before we get into the rapid fire. I know we've been sitting for so long.
I can't think of any. I mean, we can just jump in. I say we jump into some rapid fire. Unless you want to do a quick exercise, we can.
Which is your favorite exercise, that your go-to exercise or something?
Knee lifts or squats. Knee lifts or squats.
They'll not see us when you do squats, right? Because we are our screen.
No, there's not stairs. Squats you can just stand and do. They're a good thigh exercise. Hold on. Let me move this chair again. But yeah, you can just do squats, or we can do, there's knee lifts, and we can do knee lifts and squats. So you can do knee lifts, you can do squats, just squats.
Okay, how many? 10?
But I like these. Oh yeah, we can do 10 squats. Yep. And you can do any kind of squats you want. But yeah, we can do 10. So ready? So let's see. 1, let's see, 2.
Guys, I hope you're doing this with us.
Yeah. Hopefully you're squatting, because we've been sitting, so you gotta make sure there's movement.
Yeah, you said we are going to be doing this every Sunday.
I lost count, so I always lose count. So you shouldn't ever trust me with with counting.
Jen, I think we're at 10, no?
Oh, we at 10. Okay, let's do some knee lifts.
Yeah.
So these are good ones. And there's a really good waistline move. It's a Zumba move for your abs, but you get in a squat position. Really fun move. Get in a squat position like this, and then you just twist.
Really good. Wow, that is so good.
Yeah.
I feel it on the spine.
Right. Especially really good move. And you can do your arms. You can push down
like
your arms. But it's a really good move.
Yeah. Help with the I should be doing that when you get tired of sitting for too long. I think, guys, we'll be doing that every time we are live. I think we've learned something very important.
We gotta move and drink our water. I'm almost done with my water, but I have some tea back up.
All right. Hey, Rinku, how are you doing, Rinku Kumar? Thanks so much for coming in. And to those of you who joined us to do the squats and the knee lifts, well done. If you're a content creator, I'm going to be preaching this gospel. If you're a content creator, please be standing at some point and do something. Make some movement.
Yeah, make movement, walk in place, anything.
Exactly. Okay. X-Ray is saying, Goga, give JC some of your yoga moves. Let her do it too. She just made us twist. That's the yoga move right there.
So I tried, the first time I did one of my Ayuka videos, I tried the chicken pose. There is a blooper reel for this chicken pose thing. I don't know if that's the true name of it. Let me
Jen, what is chicken pose? Because I know
the true name of it, or the name that. So I looked up chicken pose.
I want to see what you're calling chicken pose.
Well, it may not be. So that's the thing. It may not be. So
I just love how it's. No, I want to learn about
yoga. It's the Murgasana.
Oh, Majaryasana.
Is that how you say it? So that's what so that's what they're saying this thing is. And I attempted it and it wasn't pretty. But anytime I do you do you put your head down and then your hands through your legs and then try to I don't know that I did it very well.
And then you open your
right? You do that and then and your hands are through your under your legs or something.
Yes, guys, we can't do that one on the live stream. We all have to have our mats and our cameras up in a certain angle for you to see us.
Yeah, no, the first time I attempted, I like went forward and my roosters all made a noise.
Then it became chicken post.
There is a blooper reel, and I just have yet to post it because it's like I've got to maintain some sense of respectability out here. But there is a blooper reel for it.
Yeah. And just for the sake of the Jamaicans who walked into the live stream, those earrings you showed us at the beginning,
yeah.
and some of your creative work that you share on the channel.
Yeah, like I said, I was inspired because I am connected to a lot of those who are from that part of the world.
Yeah.
And so that may be the only pair. No. And then I'll show you the ones that have red in it. But I don't know. Y'all just really motivated and inspired me one day.
Wow.
And I made the flag. And there's a video of me making it. And then I had some with the red in it.
Nice. Are these for sale, or you just make them out of
They are. I do need to post an updated inventory, and people. I only ever ask for posting or postage, or shipping costs. That's all I ever ask for. If people want to get more than that, that's their decision.
Also, so they can reach out to you on email if interested.
Yeah, I have email.
Okay.
I have email, and I just get inspired. Like I said, I'll probably get inspired today and make some this week. So, and then the ones I'm wearing, of course.
All right. Everybody has been like commenting about the earrings you're wearing.
Yeah. So I do have more like this. I wouldn't give you these because, like I said, I've been wearing them, but I do have more with these colors in it.
Oh, nice.
And this was an experiment. It was 4 different colors. I kind of wanted to try the colors out. But yeah, I have, these are some fun ones. I made these for Hard to Read, but she already has her pair. But then I should still have some of the Peridot, but I can make some more if I don't. I should still have some. So yeah.
Nice. What inspires this? Like this, because it's another side of Jen.
So it was kind of getting me ready for the I do owe you, Nadine.
Nadine.
Basically, those Jamaican ones are hers, but I'll make more. So So what inspired me was to get ready for this journey. Actually, it was I'm what would be considered I'm a bored eater. So prior to taking Zepbound, I ate when I was bored. Like I could eat a meal and be like, go watch TV, and it's like 30 minutes later, it's like, oh, let me have some popcorn, let me have whatever, just because I'm sitting there in front of the TV. So I knew I would want something to keep my hands busy. And one time my sister had sent me, she sent me a clip on Instagram. And, the minute you're on Instagram, you start scrolling. And somehow I got into my algorithm, people who are making polymer clay. And it's the most mesmerizing thing in the world. It's like the color patterns you can get, like mixing these colors. It's just the most I like rock formations. If I had grown up and been really cool, I would have remained a geologist. But it's just, I'm fascinated by once you mix the colors together, it just reminds me of striations and rock and stuff like that. And I just get so fat. Like I don't tend to do a lot of solid ones because I just love the patterns that the colors make once they're combined and stuff. It's just, it just looks like beautiful rock formations. And so I just love it. So yeah, I was there originally just to keep me busy, keep my hands busy.
Nice. And look at it. And you still do, like, how much time do you invest in doing this? And
it depends on what I'm making. Sometimes it can take a couple of because you make them and then you've got to bake them and then you've got to stain them with either a gloss or a matte finish and then put the fixings in and everything. So it can take if I'm not getting in the way of life, if life isn't getting in the way. I would say it's a solid 24, 48 hours for it all to be done. But it's mainly because you're just waiting for each part. And then I'm sure if I did like blocked off 3 or 4 hours, it would get done pretty quickly. Okay. So done. Yeah.
So guys, yes, you love the earring.
Yeah.
Write an email. The good thing she's put an email on her description.
Yeah.
Write an email, and you guys, this is good business. We are as she said, this is about community, so you can promote that craft in the best way you can.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll do another updated. I'll post because I think you can do 10 pictures at a time on a community post. So I'll make sure to post my latest inventory.
All right, and still India can't wait to receive the earrings.
She's getting a fun package sent from the US to her.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited about when she gets it.
And then Tiffany says the way she concentrates but is so calm is cathartic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I got to connect, like I've been able to connect with so many people in the craft world through it, and just meet so many creators in the craft world. Like I'm obsessed. Like I'm obsessed with meeting creatives. I'm just I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of I don't have children, so and I don't know that this isn't one of the topics we were bringing up. I don't have children, but I have I just have the capacity to just it is in me to just empower people in their strength. And I've been told not to cry on camera, so I'm not crying. I'm not gonna cry. I just want people to know that they can be anything they want to be. They can bring positivity into the world. They can be empowered just by allowing themselves to dream bigger, to step out of whatever's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for me to support that.
I love that.
And it's not to say I feel like you are all my children. That's not what this statement is, but I feel like I feel that I guess because that is not a part that gets to spill out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
What YouTube for me has become a place where I can spill that support out, if that makes sense.
And it's a very high form of nurturing, because there's something you're seeing, and and it's important for people to like know that, and that's nurturing right there, in a sense. And then I think I like what Rebecca said. You have love for others and a lot to give. Amazing, so do you are, JC. Right, so guys, if you have not yet connected to JC, we are now going to the final quick fire segment. And the boss, Hajarin says, and Hajarin was here the other day. The boss says, what God wants us to do. Absolutely.
Yeah, and let's be real. I can have the flip side of that. Don't let anybody mess with someone I know. Someone was. I got to tell you, because Goga, you will appreciate. Us God-fearing people will appreciate this. One of my mothers, my church moms in college, said to me one time, she was just talking about how I just think about the world, and like she knows me well, right? And she said to me one time, she's like, I'm so glad you know and love the Lord, because I would not want to encounter the version of you that didn't. So y'all take that for whatever it means.
and I think I like that, because that's also like for me I think I'm in when it comes to that, because I love the spiritual conversations, and that goes into the conversations around duality. It's expected, like there's always both. They can be like very calm, quiet on the surface, but almost it's a word that I don't want to use because of your president, but you get the point.
I get it.
You got it. All right, guys, that said, allow me to ask JC the quick fire questions, and then we are going to put on solo layout to wrap this up for us, and then we'll be able to release her. Just so what happens is that when she'll be doing the wrapping out, in case there's anything maybe I should have asked, or maybe she wanted to bring it out as part of a message, she'll put it there, and then she'll be able to sign us off out of this place. And then what will happen? I will end her live stream. So the moment I end her live stream, those of you will see me on my live stream, I'm going to read the affirmation as I figure out how to put up the raid thing and where we are going.
Yeah, I don't see that he's live yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've been refreshing. He's not live actually.
Yeah, I don't think he's live yet. Let me hear. Give me a second, real quick.
Mr. Russian, where did you go? I'm sure you decided to stay with us because you did not go live.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Tiffany. This is exactly the.
Let's see. I don't know if he's gonna start it or not.
Yeah,
Uh,
I opened him on a different tab, so I have been refreshing, but I haven't seen it live. But it's don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
yeah, well, there'll be other people we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can pick.
Oh,
Oh,
he
he's
is.
live. The
He
boss
went
says
live.
he's live.
I've been
Which
refreshing.
which channel? The boss, you can send me the
It should
channel where
be
he's live.
it should be Mr. Russian 123, but I still haven't. I still don't see it.
Even me, I don't see it. So the
Oh,
boss
there you
where?
go. Oh wow, it was 43 minutes ago. Yeah, I didn't see it, but we can still go over there.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
Do you have
Mr.
like?
Russian 123.
Does he have like another channel or something?
No, no,
Because I
no.
can't.
It's this right here. It's at Mr. Russian 123. That should be it.
Oh, okay, cool. Because mine, I'm still okay.
Or
I'll look.
I'll say if you can put the link in there. He says he's only going to
Yeah.
do an hour, but it's still, make the connection.
All right.
Oh, she put the link
Yeah.
in there.
Thank you, the boss. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Yeah, because then we can just set it up and we go there after. So I think after this, let me see. Tell him not to end his live stream, okay? I don't want to crash any
I'll do
jets.
my best, but he doesn't listen to me.
Tell him I don't want to crash any jets because there are people who are going to start getting receipts from me here, and I will not. I will not hear the end of it.
Yeah, but he's been live for 43 minutes now. But yeah, so he'll still be on. He'll still be on.
All right. Okay, so quick fire questions are for you. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. I thought you were a coffee girl, but anyway.
I drink it, but tea is going to be my choice.
All right. Early morning or late night?
Early morning.
Of course, yeah. Okay, homesteading, da da da. Okay, this is going to put you on the spot. Chickens or gardening?
Wow, you're an evil man.
I know.
Chickens.
That took long enough. Okay. Your favorite chicken. Don't overthink it. You know it. It's in your head.
Oh yeah, 100%. Stephanie, she's a black astrolorp. She's gorgeous, and everyone knows she's my favorite chicken. She's the one that always goes. She loses all her feathers in the winter, so you just have to love on her a little bit extra because she looks like a naked chicken in the winter.
Right. Most dramatic Grey's Anatomy character.
Oh, favorite.
Dramatic.
Most dramatic Grey's Anatomy character. Oh, Owen. Owen has so much drama around him. He's been married 1,000 times and everything else. So, and he just, he can't catch a break with the people he chooses to love.
Okay. One word to describe your journey.
I would just adventure.
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 I love it. All right. And guys, I know some of you start laughing at some of this. It's Jen who is answering them.
Right.
Hardest part of living with T1D.
I think it's only connected by I'd say eye opening. Let's connect it by a hyphen.
Okay. I like that. That's deep.
Yeah.
Biggest win so far. Other than don't say 85. Don't say 85.4
No,
pounds.
yeah. Biggest win so far. It's the YouTube. It's like I said, y'all get to know. I love it's y'all let me get to use my brain every day.
Ooh,
that's
deep.
so important. That's so I like when my brain has to work.
Your go-to comfort meal?
It's chicken and dumpling.
Oh.
Think about that.
I was going to ask for commentary, then I realized I said quick fire round. So
yeah, chicken and dumpling is my absolute favorite meal, and I let them chickens know this every day.
Cardio or strength?
Say the first one again.
Cardio or strength training?
Strength training.
Okay. One habit you swear by?
I'm gonna go with the water.
Oh,
Getting our water in. Yeah.
Not let's sip our water.
Yeah.
What keeps you consistent?
Self-trust. So there's a really good book by, I think many of y'all know the author, Stephen R. Covey. His son, Stephen M. R. Covey, wrote a book called The Speed of Trust. And the first level of trust he talks about is self-trust, meaning if you are not consistent in the things that you say about you and do, then every layer of trust outside of that is somewhat broken. So it would have to be the what keeps me consistent is my commitment to myself and how I show up in the world.
I love that.
It's a really good book. Maybe I should do a live on that one day, but it's a really good book.
That's content right there.
Yeah.
A fear you've overcome over the years?
This is gonna get deep. Are we okay to get deep? The fear I've overcome is
if it's comfortable with you.
I think losing a parent. It was the biggest fear. My first live, I think I cried talking about my dad. I love my father. I did not prior to going through this experience, still going through it because there are hard days. I didn't see past a loss of I didn't see myself past a loss of a parent because of how close our family is. So that's a fear I had to walk through and get through.
Okay. Snakes or spiders?
Snakes always. I love snakes. They love me though. They do. I thought they were big worms as a kid, so I'd pick them up. I love snakes. I love them.
It's good I've asked that because the next question, one thing people misunderstand about Jen. First of all, me, I'm just like, did you just say you love snakes? The first time I think I saw that question in your channel, I was like,
I have saved more than one snake on this property. There was a snake that got caught in some bird netting, and I completely spent 2 hours saving this thing. And then when
you
snakes
save snakes, we run away from snakes.
Oh, I caught somewhere. I saved them. And people know, like when my husband encounters one, he knows to call me to tell me to come outside if I'm not out there. And then like the snakes that live in the they don't live in it, but when they go into the coop to get eggs, I just talk to them. It's like, we don't eat eggs, we don't eat chickens, go about your business. And we do have a speckled king snake to deal with the venomous ones. So yeah, there's a speckled. Yeah, I love snakes.
Okay.
I am learning to appreciate the purpose of spiders, but they still freak me out.
Okay, did I get your answer on the one thing people misunderstand about you, or is it the snake obsession?
No, it's not the snake. I think the one thing, am I real? Like, I've been in more conversations about people don't I think I said it today where my desire to serve and to empower others, it's hard because people don't encounter these types of folks all the time, right? I'm learning that I'm having to be patient about people understanding how I show up in the world, because it's my how I feel about people and supporting people. There's a little bit of suspicion at first, so I think that's probably the biggest misunderstanding about me. And like I could charge $5 for a 12 pack of eggs and $7.50 for a pack of eggs, and I just gave away 220 eggs to the food pantry. And on a weekly that I have 40 something eggs sitting on my counter. We'll keep an 18 pack, and the rest will go to neighbors until the next food pantry. This is how I show up in the world. You know, we're earner on earth as it is in heaven.
Man,
means that we are responsible for, as it is in heaven, it will be on earth. Our responsibility.
Right. Don't worry. I only have 5 more left. Best advice you've ever received.
This is perfect. Best advice I ever received was from my boss, and it was basically saying because I can see the big picture and every detail to get there at the same time.
Yeah.
And so she told me once, you have to wait for others to catch up. Best advice I ever received for work and because I could get hot sometimes.
Man.
And it basically was wait for people to catch up, essentially.
I think I needed to hear that. To hear that. I think, yeah. I did it. From a personal standpoint, I'm just thinking about something, and then like, yep, that is it. That's what I needed to hear today.
Yep.
Something you're proud of right now?
It's the first thing that came to my mind, getting myself organized again. Because like I said, there was a period that I was kind of like missing some things in my life, little small things. No one said anything, but it was showing. Hey, David, it was showing. It was getting myself back on track, making sure I wasn't missing, making sure the small things weren't becoming big things. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Dream vacation. I know we didn't discuss cruises and stuff, but I know you dream vacation. I know you may have hinted at it.
I do have a vacation plan. While it's more my husband's dream than mine, but I'm happy to be going. But
that's a good line right there to use.
Right.
It's like
my dream vacation. Italy. My mother has less than 1% Italian blood on her side, and I in my head it is 100%. For me it's 100%. I've been to Italy. I've been just twice, and it's that country. Everything I've described about myself. The way that country, the people in that country live. I'm not saying they don't have issues, because like any country they do. They have their own problems and stuff. But when I arrive in Italy, the way they approach life and the present moment is something that we could all learn from. And when I'm there, but I've not gone with my husband yet, and so I want him. I want to go with him, so that he can also experience this too. That I will always say Italy. Yeah.
Italy. Oof. Yeah. There's something.
Specifically Southern Italy. I do prefer Southern Italy to the rest of it, but I do love Italy. So yeah.
One word for this season in your life.
Ooh. Non-bothered. It's how I'm approaching, not being just non-bothered. It's how I'm approaching work, like, because I had to, everything going on with work and stuff. I had to get to a place where the things I can't control, I can't let that irritate me. So yeah, I know non-bothered can have a negative meaning to it, but that's the approach I'm taking in 2026. Is to be non-bothered by things that are out of my control.
Well done. I think that closes the rapid fire segment. The last thing I'll allow you now to just sign off for us. I'll put you on solo layout for that, but I just want to say thank you for being the guest we needed. I think the final guest for the month of March that we needed at the Sunday service. I think this was a dream come true because I know the first time I ever told you that you need to come to the Sunday service, it was just an idea. And then
Right.
we had to figure out the dates and everything. And then I needed to check your calendar. And I think it just worked that you're available on this particular day. And I'm so honored that, you really came and graced us with your presence and the inspiration that we needed. I think there are a lot of things that I have picked personally from my own purpose, but I know one thing that people will agree with me. That statement, even Dariam just posted it, I think, earlier on. I am the niche, and that is a very powerful affirmation right there. I know,
Yeah.
I know. Ajarin was talking about affirmations like 2 weeks ago, but I'm going to add that into my list of affirmations. I am the niche,
We
and
are. I mean, we are like I don't. Yeah. Again, I show up to people's channel. Yes, it may have been the subject matter, but I stay because of who the person is. Now I may be doing chicken chores, and I may be cooking. Like after I get off this because it's 3:40, so I need to start 3:40
yeah,
my time. I need to start cooking
yeah,
lunch and dinner for the week. I will not live stream it. I need to start cooking lunch and dinner for the week. But I'm listening to people. I try to engage in the chat when I can. But if you see me, especially if you see me longer than 30 minutes in your chat, it's because there is something about you as an individual, and especially keep coming back, that you give me, again, that intellectual stimulation, that motivation. You give me something that I am craving in my life, or it's literally just a laugh. It's literally just a laugh. It's how your chat interacts. It's how your environment interacts. Go. Your Wednesday last week, I don't even know who you were. I still, until the end, didn't know who you were talking about.
Are you
But,
going back at the earthquake?
but that gave me life on a tough day, or on even a happy day. How you show up, and that we can laugh, express joy. We're going to be taken on a journey. All those things, but also learn something. I mean, that's the whole of our experience of humanity. And I go, there's a couple of creators who I've met recently in the gaming world that kind of just share, and we just talk. We just have conversations. I was playing with CD Death X2, who's a gamer. We were playing Fortnite last night, and there's two young kids that typically are in his live, and we were just playing Fortnite. Here are people from across the world playing Fortnite, right? 4 of us. Yeah, we kind of know each other through the chat, and here I am. One of the kids just asked, what do you like the most about? This is a question he asks everybody. What do you like the most about me? And for someone that young to hear from an adult what they appreciate, like, where else is that happening? Unless you're like a teacher or you're a Sunday school teacher, but where else can you speak into a life of somebody over a game of Fortnite? Right?
100%. Thank you for that compliment, and the earthquake episode, and including the commentary you gave me when we were preparing for the Sunday service. I was laughing so hard after that call. But anyway, guys, those are receipts. We'll keep it for the next Sunday service when Calamity Jane returns.
Right. Part two.
Yeah.
Do
And you're always welcome. I mean, the Sunday service,
this is great. Yeah.
if you ever feel that there's something that you think we can discuss, by all means, always feel free to reach out. Guys, allow me to release our guest, but before that, we are going to give her a solo layout just to have the last word. And those of you who are on her live stream,
Let me go.
Mr. Russian is still live, so I don't know.
It's y'all's call. If there's somebody else, like he said, he's going to be. He's claiming just another, because he usually does a countdown clock.
Yeah, Tiffany has really tried to buy us time there with him by engaging.
That's hilarious. He says he's ending in 5 minutes. I'm just gonna hear. You're such No, you're gonna hear this. You're such a curmudgeon, and then he's gonna ask me later what that is.
Yeah. So we'll make sure we do that. Those of you who have not yet connected and dropped those nice green hearts, please drop them on the chat before Jane leaves. Please do that. Please do that. Please do that real quick. Like drop those nice green hearts, and
Yeah.
that's how you remember to give your thumbs up. That's how you remember to like go and leave a comment after this live stream has ended. You go say something there, and then make sure you're part of the chickens and whatever.
So how about this? Do this for me, because he's gonna end it in 5. And he's a person of his word. If he's gonna end it, he's gonna end it, and I respect that about him. How about this? Just connect with him. Just connect. He's a strong supporter of many of us in the room. Many of us know Mr. Russian, and he's a strong supporter. And so I think the biggest thing I could say is just pay it forward. Subscribe when he is live, watch his stuff. That would probably mean the world. So yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much for that. Right, guys. Okay, that said, let's release our guest, guys. But before that, let's give her the last word just to wrap up the conversation for us, and then we can release her. Jane, I think I'll reach out tomorrow regarding the collab link. I'll just send it to you.
Oh, that'll work.
And then then we'll do like a quick debrief in case maybe in the course of the week, subject to your availability. Right. Over to you.
Perfect. I think the last word is the quote that I lived by my entire life was, take the bull by the horn, which just essentially means, life is life. It comes at us, but grab it by the horn and make it what you will. That's kind of that's the reality is, take the bull by the horn and just be yourself, be you, and don't contain yourself, right? So yeah, that will be my last word for everyone.
Thank you so much. All right, you're official.